Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Oh, what's going on? I apologize for that Monday morning podcast. I don't even remember what I said. I was fucking out of it. I am still here in Paris, and tonight is my last show at the Apollo. I want to thank everyone that came out the last two nights and that's going to come out tonight. I had such a great time. Crowds were amazing, and I was speaking a little bit of French or whatever. Came up with a bit that I do speaking French, which is great. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a little dream that I've been trying to, I was like, someday I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to be able to do my shit in French. Obviously, 99% of it was in English, but I was started to fuck around with it. And I got a lot of compliments afterwards that I was speaking like, somebody said, like, it didn't sound like you just memorized shit. It sounded like, you know, that you would just, it was just coming out naturally or whatever. So that made me feel really good, because that's what I'm going for. I don't want to just be, I just want to memorize my act in another language. Anyway, so I got the last show tonight, and then I am back to the United States, but I've had such a good fucking time here. And I got to tell you, man, the people out here on the Vespas, because I learned, you know, I was making fun of scooters, but scooters are scooters out here, like the ones that you sort of like, you stand up on by yourself. You know, those ones that the kids just fucking discard like litter. I don't know why they just can't put them in like a nice, neat place. They got to get, like, they're always like thrown down on the ground. It always looks like there was some fucking, you know, they were all having a good time, and then somebody with a chainsaw showed up, and they all just in a panic leaped off of them. There's always like a fucking pile of them, and they're filthy, fucking filthy. Like, I feel like those things are the new payphones. Like, someday people are going to be like, can you fucking believe? Like, my generation is like, can you remember payphones? Can you believe? Like, I remember when I first moved to New York, I was calling the leads, like Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, going through roommate finders, trying to find a room to rent so I could move to New York City. And I used a payphone in Times Square right next to the Howard Johnsons. Obviously, that's the Howard Johnson Motor Lodge. That's no longer there. And I had the thing up to my fucking ear in Times Square. God knows how many people had used it. The other thing is like right near your mouth. I don't know, disgusting. But I think like those scooters are like the new thing that you just sort of walk up. I don't know. Somebody just told me like recently, like, you know, at the gym, there's more bacteria on the fucking dumbbells than there is on a public toilet. They always say than a public toilet. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that there's more germs on a dumbbell than there is on a public toilet seat. And if by more germs, you just mean regular germs, I think the germs people are really concerned about is shit and piss germs. Because there's no way the public is shitting and pissing into the same fucking bowl, and that has less bacteria than what's on dumbbells, unless people are wiping their ass with their fucking hand. There's always just some new thing to just fucking scare the shit out of you. I've been going to gyms forever and using those goddamn things. I've never gotten pink eye or anything like that, knock on wood, from going to the gym. So it's just like, I get it. Everybody's using it. But I mean, is there more on like a fucking dumbbell than there is on any door handle walking into a fucking store at that point? I don't know. They're always doing shit like that. And they're always doing shit like that. And somebody's always shitting on a great TV show. Nia was reading this review where this person was just ripping the Penguin, you know. And I get it. Okay, you want to say, all right, the mob thing's been done 1,000 times. All right, I'll go with that. But he didn't even give it up for Colin Farrell's performance. He's like, oh, he's just doing like fucking Al Pacino, De Niro, and Gandolfini. Oh, he's just sort of doing an amalgam of the three fucking greatest actors of the last fucking 50 years. Is that just what he's doing? You know, these fucking critics. It's like, what is it? Can you enjoy anything? Does anything make you? You know what they like? You know what they like? They like shit that nobody knows about. That's what they like. Oh, you watching The Penguin? That sucks. Have you seen The fucking Sorcerer? No, I haven't seen that superhero. What's The Sorcerer? Oh, it's only available in Croatia. Ah, that's why you like it. So now we have to listen to you sit here at the table talking about a fuck. You just fucking like it because it's over there. But I can tell you right now, the fucking Croatian cunt version of you is in Croatia right now shitting on The Sorcerer, saying that they like The Penguin better. But then again, it's all streaming, right? So we're all kind of getting the same shows. See, I got some sleep. Look at my ADD's back. I'm all over the fucking road here. La Rue. Anyway, I've been here for the last few days and just been having the best time. And other than when we locked ourselves out of our apartment. It's so funny, like the things that you know how to do in your country, and then you get here and you just completely fuck them up. You know what I mean? Because it's all just like a little different. Like, how the fuck do I turn on the faucet? How do I turn on the light? Where do you flush the toilet? How does this fucking door lock? It's a fucking door lock. What am I doing wrong here? It's always just enough of a little left or right turn to make you fuck it up. And then also like not knowing what shit is. I keep seeing these green crosses over here, and I keep thinking it's a weed store. It's a pharmacy. And I learned over here that the pharmacists are actual, like, sort of low-level doctors, unlike in the United States, when where you go into a pharmacy and they wear the doctor coat, but they really just sort of weigh pills, put them in a jar. Like there's somewhere like, I think they're one level above a hygienist or maybe a dental assistant, which I used to be, contrary to my Wikipedia page that for years suggested that I was a dental hygienist. And I never corrected it because I loved that it said that. Because then people would be like, it says here you were a hygienist. I'd be like, yes, it does. What was that like? I was never a hygienist. Well, but it says it right here. Oh, you mean on that fucking site that anybody can just write anything? But it says it on the internet. You know what'd be incredible? What if human beings just had an inability to lie and then had the ability to say, you know what? I don't know the answer to that. What would the world be like? I bet there'd be a lot less websites on the internet. The internet would be like when we first got cable. Not first got cable, when there was like 40 to 80 channels. I'd say when it got to 100 channels. Believe it or not, when it got up to 100 channels, people that were old when I was young were like flipping out, you know, and Bruce Springsteen sang a song, you know, about how there's 100 channels but nothing's on. And which I thought was, you know, sort of misdirected sadness. It's like, Bruce, aren't you really sad because of something that happened when you were a kid? Is it really the TV's fault? Were you happier when there was just 3 channels? I mean, if I look at your body of work, you've kind of been sad for quite a while. It never mattered how many channels there were. Oh, look at me, acting like the guy who reviewed The Penguin. You know what it is? Critics make you feel dumb. Like you go, I really like this. And then somebody in like a newspaper goes, this has got to be the dumbest shit for mouth-breathing fucking morons I've ever seen. They don't say all that, but that's what they're saying. And you're just reading it like, but I liked it. But my brain saw it and said it was good. Anyway, I'm sticking by that show. I absolutely love it. So anyway, I've been over here, and I swear to God, if I was over here for 3 months, I always say this, I just don't have the time. If I had 3 months, I could get it down. What is going on here? I could get it down. Please tell me it recorded all of that. I hope it recorded all of that. It just said low battery. And I'm only 10 minutes in. Did I only do 10 minutes? Well, whatever. You heard it or you didn't. If I just jumped from one subject to another, that's not my usual AD. It was letting me know that I had a low battery. Interrupting the recording, just to let you know. That's the phone version of when you're asleep on a plane and the stewardess comes over and wakes you up. That always happens on the international flight. They wake you up. Excuse me, sir, would you like some breakfast? I was sleeping. I get it, though, because they got to plan, how many of these things they have to heat up or whatever. We were talking about that last night. Bianca Cristoval's over here, who's been fucking murdering, and her act is at a whole other level. She's literally becoming the comic that I knew she was going to be the first time I saw her. I swear to God, I could have been a fucking manager in this business. I can see a comic really early on, and I'm batting about, say, 88% on that. That they're going to, you can just, if someone's going to be really good at this shit, you see it early on. And but then there's all the variables. Are they going to work hard? Are they going to, fucking get involved in the drugs and all of that shit? And waste all of this time. God knows that can fucking happen. But if they stay on the straight and narrow, which she did, all of a sudden you're like, there it is. I've listened to her whole act both nights. And I've heard probably a million hours of stand-up, so it's not something that I always do. But just what she's talking about is really funny, and it's really interesting, and her perspective is really unique. And it even got an old fucking jaded comic like me to sit down and listen. So anyway, the theater's been great. It's a little 300-seater. And they've had a bunch of comics there. Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Tom Segura. I forget who else. But a lot of American comics have come through, so it's been really cool to, or cool, as they say over here, cool, super, cool, fantastique. No, the French people. Nobody says that. It's I get it. I get it. I did finally get to make fun of how they speak English, though, on stage, and that was very satisfying, and of course they fucking laughed. That's what I was saying. I've been speaking French all this week, and even when you guys switch to English, I keep speaking French, because if I have to listen to you butchering my language, you're going to have to listen to me, right? And then I say, by the way, it's the, pas the. Anyway, what else? Oh, yeah, I've been watching the MotoGP. I'm all caught up on that. You know what sucks is I finally found a MotoGP magazine, because there's the Formula one, and I can get that in the States. Because they've really been pushing the sport now that it's been on ESPN, and a lot of people are getting into it. And I guess this season has been great, because someone asked me, going, are you watching it? I go, it was like Lewis Hamilton won everything, and I got bored with that. And then Max Verstappen came in, he won 20 races. What am I doing? I'm just waiting for him to show me fourth and fifth place. They go, no, man, this year's been unbelievable. And I'm like, fuck. All right. Maybe that's the thing. If I walk away, it gets good. Maybe that's what it is. But I've been loving the MotoGP. But I never even finish what I was trying to say is the people driving Vespas, okay? Just so everybody knows the difference. Not like the scooters that the kids leave laying in the fucking grass. The Vespas, those ones. The motorized ones that can go 60 miles an hour. The way people fucking drive them over here, I can't believe I haven't seen at least 10 people die already. They're absolutely fearless. You know, they talk about people splitting lanes back in the States, but over here, like, you know, they split lanes on the highway. But like here, it's like, it's sort of chaos. Like there's not a lot of lines painted in the roads, I've noticed, where it's kind of saying like, okay, this lane's yours, this is mine. There's a lot of vague areas in the roads and a lot of like rotaries and shit. And these fucking guys come flying in with a load of something on the back of it, just zipping in and out of it, you know? I got to be honest with you. Everyone was freaking out the way Tom Cruise rode that motorcycle through Paris, but it's just like, dude, they closed off the streets for you. I want to see you do it real time. You know? Although I am making fun of a guy that duct taped himself to the side of an airplane. He has to go down in history as far as, like, the highest paid actor. Maybe Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan used to get, like, fucked up all the time. Remember that the outtakes? He broke his ankle on that jump, and then they just made, like, a fake sneaker that he zipped up over the cast, and he just finished the whole movie on, like, a broken ankle. I don't know. I think Tom Cruise is America's Jackie Chan as far as, like, dude, you don't have to do that, man. You're making all of this money. What was that one he did? He did like in Dubai or something. He was like, he jumped off like the building or something like that, like the highest building in the world. Like, what is going through your head when you're in the trailer that day? You know, knowing full well you could get a stuntman to do it. Most times, I'm just sitting in a trailer with my 5 lines in the movies going like, please don't let me get fired. Just, I'm doing the lines over and over and over and over again. And he's in there having to learn lines and jump off a fucking building. Hey, can you run these lines with me? I want to make sure I have them down before they duct tape me to the outside of a cargo plane. It's amazing. Anyway. I don't have any reads this week, do I? I don't think I do. Let's check the email out. What does the email say? The email says no reads this week. Well, there you go. All right. Well, so I'm not up on anything that's going on in the States right now. I've watched a little bit of football. That's about it. But anyway, I am psyched to get this show. There's these gigs behind me, just so I know that they all went well. And then also that means I can go home and see my kids because I miss them terribly. And right before I left, I was watching this MotoGP race. And my son loves motorcycles. What little boy doesn't? And he was like curled up next to me and he was putting his cheek against my cheek watching it. And I was just like, hey, I'm leaving this? Why would I do this? Like, you know? And it's just like, well, Bill, because you picked this job before you had kids. You're too far down the road to become a butcher or whatever the hell I would have done. So anyway, I can't wait to get back to see the two of them and show them all the pictures and everything. But I'm here for such a short amount of time. I haven't even tried to get acclimated to the time. So I have yet to go to a boulangerie. Je voudrais de pain au chocolat avec de... What else the fuck do they have over there? I guess I only get the croissant, Bill butter. Kind of miss doing that. So anyway, we'll figure it out. Sorry, I'm all over the goddamn road. Did the election happen yet? Have I missed anything? I will tell you this. I did see a clip of Donald Trump in McDonald's, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen him truly happy. You know, most of the time when a politician, you know, rolls his sleeves up and does like a fucking regular job, you know it's just for the photo op. But, like, he was genuinely excited. Like, oh, is this how they make them? I eat it every day. This is like, it's like it was like, he looked like he was backstage at AC/DC, like the way I would be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm back here. So you guys just like sit around, you have like tea before you go on, and then you what song are you opening with? He was just back there like, I like when he put the extra fries in going, whoever gets this one's going to be psyched. I think he found his calling. It's the first time I've ever seen like the light on in his eyes. He had like passion. I think that's where he's supposed to be. Like maybe if his dad understood him more, like maybe he could have just been, hey, listen, Dad, you wanted to fucking, whatever the fuck his dad did. Whatever Joe Kennedy shit he did to get their fucking fortune. But he wanted to please him. All he wanted to do was work at McDonald's and just see how that magical food was made. Anyway, oh God. I'm just happy the fucking election is almost over. And I am really not looking forward to whoever wins and just listening to everybody on the other side acting like the sky is falling now because their candidate didn't win. And just ignoring that it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter overall. Like the ship is going in the direction that a very small group of people that are beyond the president, that don't pay taxes and all that shit, want it to go in. That's the direction it's going to continue to head in, like it always has. And that's the brilliance of having a president, because they're out of there in 48 years. So you can just ride it out no matter what the fuck they're trying to do. And if they annoy the shit out of you, you can just fucking throw money at the other one and get that person out of there. That's my jaded belief. And when I say that, I'm speaking on behalf of all centrists. Still annoyed by that fucking person. On behalf of all people, I've deputized myself because of things I read on Reddit to now discuss with you. So I am going to have a little bit of an afternoon before I get back on the plane ride home tomorrow at the mall. And I got to try to figure out what I'm going to go do. I did accidentally end up in a part of the city that was where like they had like all the drum, guitar stores and all that. I went to the drum store, man. It was fucking amazing. Just because, they had a lot of the same stuff, but like it's just the different shit. Like they had a bunch of like electronic kits that were at the level of like V drums, which are the top ones, that brands I've never heard of that are not in the States. And they were really fucking cool drums. And they had them all set up where you could sit down and play them. Now, the one that actually looks like a real drum kit, that one you couldn't play. But I was kind of amazed at how far along that is gone. So, but I did comment to Nia, like we're walking around, I'm like, where are all the kids? You don't see, like, what are the young people like drinking and having a good time? Where are they? She finally goes, well, they probably can't afford to live here. And I'm like, good point. You need to go further outside this touristy area. And I was like, that's kind of like Manhattan. Like when I moved to New York City in 1995, you saw young people all over the place. And during the time that I lived there, it got so fucking expensive that all the young people ended up like out in Brooklyn. Like you'd go out in Brooklyn, it's like, oh, here they are. Here's people in their 20s. Where did they go? All right, so I feel like I'm filibustering here, people. I've been basically just trying to sleep the last couple of days so I wouldn't have any bad shows or anything like that. I haven't watched any hockey games. I know my Bruins beat the Canadiens about a week ago. Obviously, I'm happy about that. But I've watched no hockey. I don't know if basketball's starting up. I'm not paying attention to the LeBron James, Bronny James thing. People are just rooting against his son so fucking hard. Like I just look at that like now as a dad going like, what would it be like if the whole public just hated my kid because their dreams didn't come true? And we're rooting for my kid to fail. Why don't you go the other way? You know, it'd be great if he was better than LeBron and he started scoring more points than him, and then seeing if LeBron turned into like the great Santini kind of dad, or if he was actually could be cool with it. You know? Like, what if his son doesn't pass him the ball in the crucial moment and takes the shot himself and then hits it? And then people start chanting, Bronny James, Braun, instead of whatever they chant at LeBron. I don't know. They're Laker fans. They're not the brightest people out there. MVP, MVP. The guy doesn't pass the fucking ball. Anyway, that's how the game of basketball is played in Los Angeles. Bill, do you really have to be that way? Oh, congratulations to the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. A classic World Series matchup. This is the shit that I grew up on. 77, 78, the first two World Series that I ever watched the entirety of. And this is, who the fuck do you vote for? Who do you root for here as a Red Sox fan? I mean, you can't root for the Yankees, but am I going to root for a team that also spent like $300 million and has a guy on it that, looked like he was gambling on baseball, and he just goes, hey, it was my interpreter. And everybody's like, nothing to see here. Anyway, this is I don't know. I'm just hoping it's gonna go 7 games. And I was on Instagram the other day and I saw this really cool thing where they showed the 1981 New York Yankees starting lineup. They were out in the field and they were going around the field, and Reggie was still on the team playing right field. Nettles was still at third, and Willie Randolph was still at second. That was what was left of those great teams in 77 and 78. But there was no Lou Piniella. Thurman was obviously passed away. Chris Chambliss was gone. I wonder who their pitching staff. I wonder if Ron Guidry was still there. I can't remember. But one of my favorite players that the Red Sox only had for a season, I just loved how he played, was Bob Watson. And he was on first base. And then they had Dave Winfield, who was basically a giant Ken Griffey Jr., I felt. Like, everything was just smooth. The way he threw the ball, the way he hit, and all of that shit. And also, I saw this a day late. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela. I was shocked to find out that he had passed away. I wasn't aware that he was doing games and he had to step away like a month ago. Speaking of 1981, that was one of the most fun years in baseball when I was growing up. Like, there was so many fun things. The Pirates in 79, but Fernando Valenzuela in the 1981 Dodgers, like Tommy Lasorda, how excited he was and how excited the fan base was, and how Fernando's eyes would roll up in the back of his head and then they'd go to the side when he would go and throw the ball. He was like this overnight sensation superstar. And then he went in and he was part of that Dodger team that finally beat the Yankees after losing to them in 77 and 78 and all the way back to Brooklyn. I think they finally beat him once in the 50s, 55 maybe. But sorry for the creaky chair here. Just shocked to hear that he passed away. So condolences to all his friends and families and his fans and all of that shit. And this is why I don't speak at funerals, because I would still curse. It's just the worst. That guy wasn't that much older than me, man. That scares the shit out of you after a while. The older you get, when you start seeing people I know he was sick, so that's one thing. But when you just see people die of natural causes that you remember when they were young, and then you start going, wait a minute. How fucking old are they? How old are they when I was watching them? And how old am I now? I'm 30 years older than that guy was when I watched him as a kid. Where the fuck did all of this time go? But anyway, he will be a legend forever. And I feel like as long as human beings are on the earth, who knows how long that is, when they bring up the great Dodgers of all time, he's up there with everyone, Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax. Speaking of Sandy Koufax, do you know one time I was in Caesar's Palace and Pete Rose, the late great Pete Rose, the hit king, was signing his merchandise, and I went in there with another comic I was working with, and we asked him, who was the toughest pitcher you ever faced? And he sat back and he looked at us and he goes, who do you think? He was like, test. I love that he was testing us. I'm not just going to give you the fucking answer. Let's see if you actually watch baseball. So I was trying to think his era. So I was like, Gibson. He's like, no. Don Drysdale, no. My buddy guessed a couple other people, like, no. And we go, who? And he goes, Sandy Koufax. And we both went, really? Because he had a brief career. Dominant career, but brief career. So I just didn't think to say the name. I felt bad when I was like, Sandy Koufax, why didn't I fucking say that, right? So he goes, so when he said Sandy Koufax, we went, really? And then he went he imitated a ball coming in straight and then just dropping off the table 12-6 on both sides. Because Pete was a switch hitter. So he was basically saying this guy had the ability to drop it off the table, whether you, in an effective way, away from the hitter. Because it was coming in diagonally and then dropping off to both sides of the plate. And I don't know. That's my Pete Rose story. Other than I had him sign. I think I told this. At this point, I must have told all my stories. There was 2 pictures of him that I bought. Both of them, his helmet was off, and he was diving into third base. One was 75, and one was 76. And I said, all right, I go, can you write on the 75 one, Bill, I'm sorry? And he got this look in his eye, and he looked at me, and he goes, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I go, listen, it's going to make sense. And then on the 76 one, because he beat the Red Sox, Big Red Machine beat the Red Sox in 75, and in 76, they beat the Yankees. So on the 76 one, I said, can you write, Bill, you're welcome? And then he got the joke and smiled and signed him. And I have him somewhere in my office. I never hung him up because, I never had an office. I just lived with my wife. And, your wife's not going to have Bill, you're welcome, Bill, sorry, fucking baseball photos on the wall. That's when you can tell, you can fucking tell, who runs a marriage. Because if men really ran the home anyway, our houses would look like fucking sports bars. There'd be sports memorabilia. There'd be a fucking beer tap. Those fucking taco holders and all of that bullshit, whatever the hell you're into. It would look like the fucking man cave. I love the man cave. The man cave. We're going to take the garage. Send the guy out to the garage. Can you imagine if the guy ran the house and they had woman caves? They would be fucking bitch moaning. How come we only get the garage and you get the fucking house? But it works because we don't give a fuck. It's take the house. I don't give a shit. I like the garage. It's just a guy thing. It's like a bunker. It's fucking amazing. That's something I get excited when I see somebody's garage and it's clean and they can actually park a car in it. And they went out and they got some special surface on the floor of the garage. I actually get excited. I'm more excited. Kitchens and bathrooms, sell a house. Fuck that. If somebody has a garage that you can eat off the floor and they have some vintage car in there or an old motorcycle or a bunch of tools, whatever the fuck they're into, and they're all in their perfect place, there's a level of just respect that I immediately have for the man that owns that garage. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever, I'm babbling. That's the podcast, everybody. Merci beaucoup. I think that's it. That's it. All right. That's the podcast. Have a great weekend, you cunts. And I will talk to you on Monday. And what else? That's right. Andrew Themlis is going to play some music that he's picked out. And then we'll have a bonus episode of the Thursday afternoon just before Monday morning podcast. All right. Au revoir. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday morning podcast for Monday, October 24th, 2016. Oh, we're getting down to it. Oh, those little kids are going to be coming by for the candy, right? Oh, those cute little kids. Yep, cute until they're about 7, and then they start thinking they know shit, right? And then they fucking start showing up. I swear to God. You know, if they're almost eye level, you know, you ought to be able to just get the fuck out of here. Go buy your own goddamn. Get a fucking paper route, you bum. Right? The first hour and a half of Halloween is great. The kids are so fucking cute. The parents are all excited. It's really what it is. Like, the cutoff for fucking Halloween should be roughly about 8 years old. And then everybody else should just go fuck off. Go put your fucking, put your virtual reality glasses on and go shoot a bunch of people. Whatever it is these kids do nowadays, I don't pretend to understand. I understand they can't go outside. You can't send them outside because, there's a pervert behind every fucking tree, evidently. So don't have them outside. Have them inside. Put on some virtual reality glasses and let them just walk around in this world, just shooting up people where they're nice and safe. Right? I don't know. I was just reading this. There was this psychology magazine that I picked up during this fucking unbelievable ride back I had from Nashville. It was all about narcissism and that type of stuff, and just how easily that word is thrown around now. How everybody, who isn't a psychologist, myself included, somehow that word hit the mainstream. I don't know when. It's been around my whole life. I think the article said sometime in the early 70s. And then everybody, this person's narcissistic, blah, 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 blah. And I guess true narcissists, it only affects a really small portion of the population. And they were just talking about there's different kinds of it. Like, everybody thinks it's the person taking a selfie. It isn't necessarily that person. Someone could be a total fucking narcissist, but goes the other way. And is really depressed and withdrawn and all that. And basically their pain and all of that becomes their narcissism. Just fucking sitting around talking about how miserable they are. I have no fucking idea. All I know is I read it and I was just going, yep, I do that. Oh, I do that too. That's whenever I read shit on fucking psychos, narcissists, fucking lunatics, whatever the hell it is. It's like reading a fucking horoscope. I swear to God, when you sit there, and I've always maintained, people who are into astrology, you always go, you believe in that shit? Oh, yeah, I believe in that shit. And if you got the fucking paper, just say, when were you born? Oh, I was born on May the 6th. Oh, you're a Taurus, right? And then go read the fucking Gemini or the Sagittarius or the fucking Blue Bonnet Bowl, whatever the fuck sign they are. You just read that one instead, and you watch them. I know it. I know exactly what that means. It means, yeah, that was for September. See, it's people why can't you just let me believe what I want to believe? So, I'm actually recording this Sunday night. I was going to record it tomorrow morning, but my lovely, beautiful, gorgeous wife is upstairs, and you know what she's doing? She's watching the reality fucking shows. And I sit there, I try to hang in there. I fucking try to hang in there. I can't fucking do it. It's so fucking depressing. I don't understand how she and Michael Rappaport can watch that fucking shit. It's fucking... She's watching one right now. All they do, they just sit around talking about stuff. Bags and shoes, and this one wants titties because her sister's got bigger titties. I wish I had tits like you. And then it's like these are they don't do anything, and then they're always going on vacation to clear their head from doing nothing. I guess being on the show and being in front of the cameras and stuff, yeah, I guess that would get fucking annoying after a while. But they don't fucking do anything. And then there's this guy with a beard, and he comes walking in, and he's always acting like he's fucking got all these businesses going. He's not fucking doing anything either. They do the show. That's what the fuck they do. And
So I'm hanging in there and I'm trying to watch it. And then they do that horror, like, you watch them talk about the shit, and then they cut to the people who you just saw talking about the shit. Then they talk about they just talk about what they just did. So the one of them wants to get a fucking boob job, and they probably just had her do it, just so they could get a fucking episode out of it. All I know is in the end, when she goes to talk about it, this is when I tapped out. After listening to these fucking people sitting around talking about themselves, and just walking around with these fucking like $10,000 worth of clothes to walk into a fucking living room and sit down and talk about other clothes, right? They cut to the one who was going to get her titties done, and she sits down, and the first thing that comes out of her mouth, she just goes, "For me?" And I was just like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't, like... What do you mean for me? We just listen to you talk about it. Like, they should just go down to a fucking soup kitchen. Go ladle out some shit for a while. Then they would just talk about how fucking it was so amazing to meet all these different people. And they're just like really, really poor. And I just felt for me, it was just so great to connect with people. And they would be doing that in full on fucking makeup, with love bracelets going all the way up to their fucking, their goddamn neck. And I don't know, just after helping people like that, I just really feel like I need to clear my head and go to San Luis Obispo, whatever the fuck those goddamn people go. Jesus Christ, I don't know why she watches it. Why does she watch it? She likes great movies. She's a very smart person. I don't know. I guess, for me, I guess I watch fucking football. That's just as fucking stupid. I watch people sitting there talking about it. I guess that's the female version of it. And I have to accept that's the fucking fact. And that we are staying in this fucking house right now. And you know what's going on with this house? We thought this fucking creepy ass house was haunted, all right? We looked at it during the day. During the day, it looked great. At night, it feels like there's somebody fucking watching you. And you're hearing all these weird sounds and everything. And, we kind of figured out what it is. There's rodents in the walls of this place, like a lot of old houses. If you have an old fucking house, there's inroads there. Like, if you lived in Buffalo and you bought an old house, would it really surprise you if there was some Prohibition era tunnel underneath your fucking house? I mean, the Capone fucking characters were there, right across the river was Canada. They bring the fucking booze in. Well, out here, you got all these fucking old ass houses, mine included, which, by the way, I just went over there to see where the fuck they were and trying to rewire the thing so I won't blow up my house someday. And they told me they were done with the wiring, and I was all excited, and I gloated that there was no more fucking cloth wiring in the goddamn house. And I went on, and I look at me, now I'm talking about my stuff. I go to turn the fucking light on. Turn the light on. And they go, what do you call it? The fucking lights that are on the wall, they're not on the ceiling, right? Whatever the fuck you call it. It's fucking sitting there, right? And I turn on the light, and it just go. I see this spark just go right out the side and landed on the dog bed. And I just shut it off. I was like, all right, I'm going to bring that up tomorrow. But no, I got in there, and they got the floor, and now they're starting to build the cabinets. So I'm seeing the fucking light at the end of the tunnel here. So, I'll tell you, the cloth wiring never did that. But once we get this done, then the fucking house it's done. It's fucking done, and I can just live there quietly and just, stare at the fucking wall and know that there's no more squirrels in there. Like this fucking place, I don't know what the fuck are in the walls. Remember that story I told you a few weeks ago about I was over at a buddy's house and there was a mouse in the house? That was this house. And the reason why I said it was a friend of mine's house, because I didn't want to tell my wife that there was a fucking rodent in the goddamn house, because then she'd be freaking the fuck out and I'd have to deal with that shit. All right? But my father-in-law was over. It was 3 weeks later. We had a couple of beers. It was a funny story. And I just finally just said, you know what? My wife brought up that it was haunted. And I finally just said, no, honey, it's not haunted. There's fucking rodents. in the walls. I just heard one. Came walking by, and I heard a bunch of shit fall down the plaster. And I know that's what it is, because when I was a kid, we had that problem in our house. And I remember we had these squirrels were in the fucking walls. I don't know how they got in there, but they were fucking in there. And so we somehow cornered one. It was behind the cabinets, and there was like a hole, not behind the like it was in the wall behind the cabinet. So all I remember was I had like this mop handle, and I'm fucking rattling it in the hole. As my dad had this the fucking giant butcher knife, trying to find this fucking thing, and he's fucking jabbing the knife in the hole, and I got the fucking mop handle going, trying to flush this thing out. All of a sudden, this fucking thing, like a rocket, runs out of the hole, right up to the fucking mop handle, up my arm, jumps on my shoulder, and just leaps off. And I was just like, ah! In the fucking thing. And it had nowhere to go. And my dad cornered it, and he finished the fucking thing off. This is before PETA, Now I guess we would have been, accused of some sort of hate crime against squirrels. I have no idea, but my dad finished the fucking thing off. And, we dealt with that. There was bats in the fucking, and there was an old house. The house was older than the house that, I guess it was made earlier. I don't think it was older. It was like 70 years old. Mine's fucking 90. Anyways, these old fucking houses, it's just, you're going to have guests. All right? I'm not a big ghost guy. Like, I always think it's rodents first. And these fucking things are all over the goddamn place. So, I don't know. At least I can say that about my fucking piece of shit of a house. At least I don't have squirrels in the walls. I mean, you turn the fucking light on. I mean, I'm not saying a spark won't come out and singe off half your fucking mustache at this point, but it's a process. That's what it is. All right. So, anyways, as you guys might remember, I was taping a stand-up special on Friday at the Ryman, and I did it. It went great. Now I have the horrible thing where I have to go back and look at myself, which is not something I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Like if I just tape the set and I'm just going to watch it, I can look at it. But if I know that this is going to go on to Netflix and that the general public, if they want to, can look at it, then every fucking thing that I hate about myself is just like sticking out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to have to try to plow my way through this as quickly as possible. But the shows went great. It was such an amazing night. And I got to tell you, if I don't sound excited, it's kind of like a letdown a couple days later, because now I have no fucking act. And I had such a good time. And it was so weird, like coming up to that, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sick of these fucking jokes. I got to record these and move on because I'm past these jokes. And then that night I was doing them. I was having so much fun. When the night was over, I was like, oh my God, I don't get to do this bit anymore. I don't get to do that bit anymore. I guess I can for the next couple of months before the thing comes out. But another one in the can. Joe Bartnick killed. It's going to be cool. I think we're going to have hopefully have a nice look to it. I don't know. I already looked at some pictures of it, and I'm already just going like, oh, why did I do this? Why did I do that? But I think it looks good. I fucking hate this. This is the worst part of it. It's the worst part of it. I wish I could just take a fucking drug that would make me forget that I was watching myself, and I could just sit down and be like, okay, this is somebody else's special. Put this here, put that there, bing, bang, boom, and it's done. Then I could fucking walk away from it. So, I don't know. It's the only thing I don't like about it. But other than that, it went fucking great. So, listen to this shit. So, and thank you for everybody who came out, too. It really was an incredible, incredible night. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And now I'm just sitting in the basement of this fucking rat-infested fucking house. My year is done. I got nothing to do. I got Comics Come Home is my last thing, and then I'm just fucking in town because I've been out of town all year. And we got to finish editing. F is for family. And, I feel like, hey, there's the lovely Nia. What do you know? So I'm going to tell him the story here. Do you want to jump on?
Okay.
I'm going to tell him the story of that flight.
Oh, yeah.
That I had. You want me to? I'll hit pause here if you want to grab a mic.
You don't have to pause. Keep doing your thing.
Okay. Well, do people really want to listen to you unwrapping that shit? All right, I'll tell you a story. So, anyways, Nia was supposed to come out and see me, right? And then for whatever reason, you weren't able to make it out, right?
Right.
For whatever reason.
Whatever reason.
Yeah, whatever reason. The doctor said you're not allowed to fly in your current condition.
That's right.
Yes. So I'm like, all right. I guess I'm out there by myself. And so I was gonna hang out with her on Saturday, go around doing all the dumb shit,
Barbecue.
Yeah, we were going to get barbecue, and then we were going to go to that fucking restaurant that every fucking person goes to that was in that show Nashville that you loved.
The Bluebird Cafe.
All right, the Bluebird Cafe. We're going to do all of that shit. And then at night, I was either going to go to the Penguins Predators game or I was going to go to the Vanderbilt football game. But you weren't allowed to go. So I said, fuck it, I'll come back Saturday. Or as they say in Boston, say, right?
That's right.
So I had hang on, let me turn your fucking mic on here. You good?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So
you like how I'm able just to put the thing together? Like I know how to do it now.
Yes, you do. What I didn't like is that you've been driving that wonderful car that I got you for a year. And you've never checked the oil or had anybody check it. I thought you knew to do that, to at least...
I mean, I think I knew in like as a general concept that that's a thing that needs to happen. But yeah, thank you. But
as a concept, this is the thing. I didn't know shit about cars or engines, really.
Not as a concept. I knew that you had to do it, but I just
went on YouTube. I went on YouTube. How does an engine work? I just started with that, and then I got all the way up to I started watching Gas Monkey. I started watching Eric the Car Guy. Eric the Car Guy is great, and you just learn. Eric the Car Guy, you'll even learn about electrical. I mean, that guy fucking knows everything, and you can, get your head around what's going on underneath the hood.
Right.
It all needs to stay lubricated, and it needs to stay cool. Those are the two big things.
Cool and lubricated.
Cool and lubricated.
Okay, got it.
If it gets too hot, the block could crack, or the pistons and everything. You literally just seize up the engine. Okay, so you haven't put a lot of miles on it. So here's the thing. So I go out there and I'm going to show her, I'm going to show her how to check the oil.
Right.
So I go into the cockpit of this fucking thing, and I'm trying. Then it's not even labeled where to do it. I finally find the piece of plastic because you don't want to tug too hard on any of it. Some of it's just parts that come apart, and then there's the fuses underneath there. So I finally find it. I pop the hood, and I clearly see where you put the oil in. And for the life of me, I cannot find any dipstick anywhere. And I'm like, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? And I finally Googled, your make and model. Mm-hmm. Where is the dipstick? And it's all on the dashboard now.
Yeah.
If you're low on oil, it's gonna tell you, which I guess is more convenient or whatever. But I don't know.
It told me that my tire pressure was too low.
But I get nervous as far as if that fucks up.
Yeah.
The dipstick is great. You stick it in there. Well, actually, you pull it out. You wipe it off first. That's what I was doing. Then you stick it in. You pull it out. And it'll show you if you need, add. It'll say full, and then there's this little round thing where you're going too high and you have too much oil. Little round, little circle, as they say, little shape of circle. That was it, and it's just not fucking there. So, anyways, let me tell you. So, leaving Nashville, so I go, all right. She can't fly out, so I'll fly back Saturday and I'll hang out with her, right? Mm-hmm. So I go over to the airport. I get there nice and early. I drop off the rental car. I'm all zippity-doo-dah because I'm nice and early. I get all the way to the gate, long-ass fucking walk, and I realize that I didn't give the car keys to the people there at Budget. I'm like, fuck. So I had to walk all the way back. I wasn't on the other side of security. I just walked all the way back. And then I'm thinking in my head, see, this is why I leave plenty of time. I'm not losing my temper. Everything's fucking fine. This is the new bill, right? I'm not going to... The new bill. I'm not going to be... I'm trying to find the humor in things.
Okay.
All right? Like I had my checks for my gigs this week. I go down to the bank tonight because I don't want to deal with the clusterfuck of the bank during the day. With a bunch of people who don't understand how to handle their money. Their money is fucked up, and you're standing behind them in line, and it takes for fucking ever. And they're always yelling through the bulletproof glass at the other person as if that person went out and bought too much shiny shit with their money. Basically speaking, all right? I'm not talking about that Wells Fargo crap with those cunts. What they did. And then they paid off those 5,000 people. Like, all right, get the fuck out of here. Here's a little confidentiality agreement. You guys all collectively yet individually came up with this fucking scam. It wasn't me. Anyways, plowing ahead. So I go down to the bank, and it takes, I had like 3 checks. It takes 2 out of 3, and it won't take the last one. And I started to lose it. I distinctly remember slapping the ATM machine and hearing my wedding band ring when I did it. And I was just like, I went up to 8. 8 for me. 12 for any other normal person. But it was an 8 for me. And I was like, Bill, just fucking relax. It's all fine. And I thought about my flight and what the fuck happened. And I was just like, this is really pales in comparison. So here's what happened to my flight. So I get on this fucking flight, right? Sitting up there, first fucking class, right?
First class.
But I have the stressful first class seat. It's the fucking front row. So you got the bulkhead in front of you, which means I always just have a backpack. I always shove it underneath the seat. So I get on the plane fucking relaxed. I don't have to worry about overhead space if somebody shoves 15 coats up there in a child seat, Mm-hmm. But I had the stress because, I didn't have the fucking thing in front of me. So once I got past that stress, I sat down. It's all fucking good. And we're flying back. And all I'm thinking is, fuck, man, I'm getting back. It's fucking football Sunday tomorrow. I'm going to watch the Formula One race. I'm going to watch the Patriots game. I'm going to maybe watch a little Buffalo, Miami. I got my whole thing laid out, right? Maybe catch a late college game. Shit, by the time I land, it's only going to be like 8 o'clock at night. So we fucking go up in the air. We're about 45 minutes into the flight, and I start smelling what smells like burnt popcorn. That's the smell first, and then it gets a little more fucking intense. And I'm kind of looking at the stewardesses, I'm in the first fucking row going, did one of them burn a meal? Yeah. Like, I'm smelling a burning smell, and it's starting to fuck with my eyes a little bit. And I'm not seeing any panic on their faces, so I go, it must be food. Because I know I only have a few hours flying with my license, but I know, smoke in the plane is it's not a good thing, right?
No.
So everything's going about normally, and then all of a sudden, I feel us descending. And I feel like the fucking wings are doing blah, 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 doing that shit. And I'm like, oh, wow, we must be hitting some rough air. Because then the smoke wasn't as bad, and I was thinking, like, we must be hitting... It wasn't like visible smoke. You could smell it, and I could kind of feel it in my eyes a little bit. How old did I just sound? I could smell it. I felt it in my eyes. It was very uncomfortable. So the fucking wings are, like, doing that shit, and I'm thinking, like, oh, he probably got it, a report that there was some rough air up, then he's going to go underneath it, and then we'll go back up again. And then, like, all of a sudden, my glass with the water started sliding forward. Like, all of a sudden, I was kind of realizing that my chair was we were at not a 45-degree angle, but we were at we were fucking descending rapidly. And all of a sudden, the stewardess just came up. She goes, can I take your glasses? We're landing. And then I was just like, oh, fuck. Something's on fire.
And the pilot didn't give any announcement,
no, because we were at 30-something thousand feet, and the second you smell smoke, it's like I don't know. I guarantee you there were lights lighting up on his little dashboard there, and it wasn't saying check the tire pressure. I don't know what warning lights they have.
He probably didn't want he didn't want everyone to panic, so he's just like, you know what? Let me just land this thing.
No, I think he smelled smoke like there's something on fire and I'm 30,000 feet and I have to get this thing on the fucking ground immediately.
No, but that's why he didn't say anything. Because wouldn't they normally tell you, we're going to, descend really quickly because of this, that, and the other?
I had nothing to do with scaring us. And he didn't have fucking time.
Okay.
So he just fucking goes down and I'm just like, oh, shit, here we go, right? So the stewardess, I didn't know we were landing because everybody had the shades pulled down. And it wasn't until my glass fucking slid forward that I was like, this guy's really, he's really dropping down here. Like, what's going on? So when she came over and she said, hey, we're landing now, right? We're literally 50 minutes in the flight, Nashville to LA, right? The woman next to me goes like, oh my God, we're here already? And I was like, I laughed and I was like, no. I go, we're landing. She goes, where? And I said, well, I looked at my watch and go, I don't know. She fucking lifted up the shade. I saw a river. I go, maybe that's the Mississippi. I'm going to say St. Louis. Turned out it was Little Rock, Arkansas. And she goes, why are we landing? And I was like, well, it probably had to do with that. Did you smell that burning smell? She's like, yeah. I go, probably has to do with that. And so she's looking around. I go, yeah, but he had total control of the airplane. But my thing that I was worried about is, I don't know about the mechanics on planes and shit, but like if there was something, whatever it burned through, some wire, some hydraulic thing, and all of a sudden he can't control it. And next thing you know, we're upside down like in that Denzel movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, when you lose the rear stabilizer, the dumbest shit ever that he's able to flip it back over and land, Hollywood movie. Yeah, once it's up, like you're fucked. Nobody can land that. Not even Sully, right? So we start fucking coming in, and we're in Little Rock. I don't know it's Little Rock, and all I see is this fucking river. And, those things you can only see out the side. And I'm just thinking, get it on the ground, just get it on the fucking ground. And all I'm seeing is this fucking, that's the rodents in the wall.
Okay.
There's one like right above your fucking head.
Jesus
or it ran by. I think it's a corridor. But I don't know if you guys can't hear it. You just hear plaster falling. I think they ate through the air conditioning duct and they just sort of run back and forth,
Dude, okay.
All right. So anyway, I'm almost dying in a plane crash here now. So the fucking thing comes down. And all I see is the river, and that's what I started thinking of. Like, if this motherfucker puts this thing in the water, all right, all I'm thinking is stay conscious. You have to fucking stay conscious. And that fucking door is right around the corner, provided, he doesn't smash the whole thing up and you can't open the door. And then I got to fight my way through all these other fuckers, and I'm going to drown. But then I see the runway. He lands the thing, and then just like, please, reverse engines. Those things kicked in. Then once we stopped, I was like, okay, all right, fine. I live, right? So we go over, we taxi over. There's a fire engine, one of those, and there's only one because it's Little Rock, Arkansas, right? This little fucking fire engine comes over. We go to deplane. Like, deplane, there was smoke, blah, blah, blah. The captain came on, and he finally said, I had my hands full up here. I'm sorry I didn't make an announcement. Meaning, like, it was a serious fucking thing.
Yeah.
So as we go to get off, there's two guys in the giant fucking asbestos suits. They look ridiculous. They look like they were beekeepers. So they didn't look like firefighters. And we go to get off, and as we get off, the ticket agent person like, okay, they're gonna check to see if the plane is still fine and blah blah blah. And all I'm thinking in my head is like, dude, the fucking thing was on fire. Something was on fire. There's no fucking way we're getting back on that. There's people walking in with the beekeeper suits. It's over, right? So we sit there for about a half an hour, and they finally come on. They say, okay, here's the deal. We need to get a new plane. The plane that we're going to get is 2 hours away, but the crew is an hour away from getting to the plane. So it's going to be about a 3-hour delay. And, people were kind of cool, but there's those, like 15% like, this is ridiculous. What kind of way to run an airline? Giving them shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Giving them shit. It's like, dude, the fucking thing, I don't know what was on fire, what was smoldering, but it was smoldering at 30-something thousand feet. And the fucking pilot just got us on the ground and we like a stud and we didn't die. And now you're fucking bitching?
Yeah.
Go up to the bar and shut the fuck up, right? So there's one guy there with his purple shirt and he's fucking was breaking his neck, shaking his head like, oh, it's unbelievable. And you know the deal. You know the deal. If they say it's going to happen in 3 hours, that means it's going to be about 12, right? So we go into the bar and I watch Auburn kicking the shit out of the Razorbacks. Then I watch the Cubs get into the World Series, and they just keep going like, well, it's not now. It's looking like 9:30. And then they do that. It's looking like 10:10. We're thinking 10:46. And people just eat more, freaking out. Then they change the gate. And everybody just is gradually more and more like freaking out. And then they're vacuuming up the airport. It was the Hillary and Bill Clinton airport, the Bill and Hillary Clinton airport, which was, basic seats. The Clintons, they stole so much money. There's only so much left for the airport there, right? So long story short, we landed about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or something like that. The plane, we didn't get on the fucking plane to get out of there until like a little bit after 1 a.m. And this is the thing, like the person goes, okay, so the plane's here. And then everybody's just like, so it's going to take us to L.A. now? And the guy just goes like, no, the plane's going to take you back to Dallas.
Everyone's like,
everybody's like, Dallas, we came from Nashville. What kind of way is this to run an airline? They're like screaming at this guy. And I sat the whole time. I just sat there laughing my ass off going like, who gives a fuck as long as we're not dead, right? Mm-hmm. Like I just couldn't it was fucking scary, right? So they ended up flying us into Dallas, and we land, and we're like, this is the plane we're taking to L.A., right? They're like, absolutely. And we land in Dallas, and they go, okay, we're going to need everybody to get off the plane. And everybody says, Jesus Christ, you got to fucking kidding me. There's one guy here, this guy, they can't possibly think we're ever going to fly this airline again, right? I'm like, I'm absolutely going to fly it again. One of the guys who works for them just flew a plane that was somehow on fire from 30,000 fucking feet down to the ground. It's a great airline. It's a great fucking airline. So we get off the fucking plane, and I slept on the fucking floor waiting for the get back on. We ended up getting back on, and we ended up landing at I think 10 in the morning. And I actually figured it out. It took 16 hours for me to get back from Nashville. And from here to Sydney, Australia is 14 hours. So I literally could have flown to Sydney, got a connecting flight, and got my ass down to Melbourne. But you know what, Nia? I didn't burn up in a plane. That's all I just kept thinking.
The fact that you didn't flip out is still kind of amazing to me. But the thing is with you is that when big things like this happen, you are so calm. You are just very relaxed, and you have a lot of perspective about it. And you're like, well, but this and this and this, so this and this and this. But God forbid there's a new operating system on your phone. It's you have the meltdown of
I would put everybody
on a sugar crash.
Everybody who flipped out about all of that airplane shit, I would have put all of them to shame. Over, a
new operating system on your phone.
I can
lose it.
I can sit for 16 hours in an airport. I had a great time. I went in, I sat down, I watched the Cubs. I'm sitting there going the Cubs literally have not been to a World Series. They haven't even been there. As bad as Cleveland is, they haven't even fucking gotten to the World Series in 71 years. That's almost impossible. If it wasn't for them, it is impossible, because I don't think anybody else has ever fucking done, just not been there.
I would have been crying out of frustration. I would have been so tired and hungry and frustrated and all
Nia,
these things.
The fucking plane was on fire.
No, I get it.
Or whatever. It was smoldering.
Understand.
Something was burning, and everyone was sitting there going, who had one of those fucking Galaxy 7 phones in their
Right, exactly. The Samsung.
Yeah, that they checked. That's what I was thinking, because there was that thing with ValueJet where something caught on fire underneath there, and it burned through whatever controllers they had, and that thing crashed into a fucking swamp.
Did you say?
And some of the bodies got eaten by alligators.
Oh, Jesus. Did you say that somebody...
Give a fuck that I'm sleeping on a floor.
Did you say, at the airport, somebody asked about that phone? They were asking people if anyone had that phone?
Oh, when we got back on the plane the second time.
Yeah.
They said, if anybody has a Galaxy 7 phone, can you notify the stewardess?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me. Okay,
that happened on a plane. That guy's phone started smoking in his pocket. He went to turn it off. He put it in his pocket, and then or something like that, and it started smoking.
Yeah, but that's not going to take down a plane. If it's in your bag and it starts smoking and then ignites with the shirt or some shit like that, and you have a bad canvas suitcase.
Well, why it could not have happened?
And it eats its way out, then I think you're in trouble. But what's he going to do? Just stare at his pocket as it slowly catches on fire, going, "Oh my God!"
I think that's exactly.
Oh my God! What do I do?
I think that
pocket's on fire. We're all going to die.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. He's
Dude,
like,
there was a
what
guy
the
that
fuck?
literally tried to light his fucking shoes on fire, and everybody just beat the fuck out of him. Like, that's what happened to this guy. And he was trying to take the fucking plane down. Yeah, those phones are like fuck. They always exaggerate. They always exaggerate.
But like you went through, if there's anything smoking on a plane, on a pressurized fucking enclosed, thing, not vehicle, but you know what I'm saying, vessel.
Yeah.
You got to get everybody out of there. Better safe than sorry.
I know, but it's like, okay, so your phone starts catching on fire. Mm-hmm. How long are you going to take it out? Like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then take your little complimentary glass of water and dump it on it, and it's over.
You know what? I don't know what he did after that. I'm sure he took it out and was like, oh shit.
I know exactly what he
And
did.
then
He
they
grabbed
all-
somebody else's phone and took a selfie and said, hashtag fuck my life. And then he got a deal. He got some sort of internet deal, and now he makes $400,000. He's the fuck my life guy. And he runs around and he does splits in front of people like the dude with the blonde hair.
That fucking 60-minute segment really chapped your ass, didn't it? Bill and
No, it didn't. No, I got...
Bill and I, wait, the little backup. Bill and I just watched this 60-minute segment, right, about social media influencers. And so there's these kids on there, because, they're millennials or whatever, with the exception of Kim Kardashian. But the other people on there are these young people that, have all these viewed Vines and Snapchats and everything. And so companies are paying them insane amounts of money to do advertising for. And one of them is this blonde kid whose name I don't remember.
He's fucking hilarious.
And he does these splits
in front of people.
Random locations. He's like at the Wall of China, the Eiffel Tower and everything. And he has all these like views. So he gets
No, I thought all those kids are funny. What drove me nuts about it was how the reporter just couldn't get his head around it, going like, so then you get 6 million views and people want to advertise in that?
I told you, 60 Minutes is for old people.
It's like, fuckhead. You're on a TV show. There's advertising on your TV show. The amount of viewers that you have is how much you can charge for ad space. Why would this be? He just couldn't get his fucking head around it.
He's explaining it to the people that are watching 60 Minutes, which are older people generally. They have older correspondents. They're explaining it to our parents. They're not explaining it to us.
You're letting them off the hook. You're letting them off the hook.
They're doing it. I'm telling you.
You're letting them off the
doing it
hook.
for like 60, 70 plus year old people.
That reporter was exactly who I thought he was.
No,
And you let him off the hook.
I'm telling you. There is a reason why they're so like.
All right. Well, maybe because I get it. Maybe because I get it.
Yeah, you get like impatient with it. That's for old people that are like, you do
No,
what with your phone?
I fucking have a podcast. It's a radio show on the internet. Enough people listen.
That to
people will advertise.
I know, but explain that to like an old. I shouldn't even say 60. My dad's 65, and I think he would grasp that concept. But like, think about the most older people who are not L.A., New York, who are just not savvy about that stuff. Like, they don't get it, and they probably don't necessarily.
And the kid's
still
like,
get it.
oh, and then I fucking do this, and I wear a Jimmy John shirt.
Yeah,
and he's like, and then they pay you for that. It's like, dude, half the fucking bands this guy's going to see, like, there's advertising at the shows. The Rolling Stones have like Bud Light in the background, right?
I know. I just think
I
really think that they're explaining it for older people who don't understand what it means to go viral. They don't even know what that word means. It's a new phenomenon for them. They don't get it. That 60 Minutes is not for people.
No, it's a new word for what the fuck they've been doing.
Yeah.
60 Minutes went viral in the 60s. It was a hit show.
Right.
It just wasn't viral. It went
because
fucking...
there was no internet.
TVO.
So viral
whatever the fuck you call a hit TV show.
Right. But viral...
And do you think there was people from the 1800s still alive going like, so you're in that box and a lot of... The more people that watch it, you make more money? Yes. Yes, that's exactly how that works.
Yeah.
It was fucking like, but he said it to every one of them.
I know, but I'm telling you, he was explaining it for the older people at home that don't understand these things.
And Kim Kardashian couldn't have broke it down anymore for him. And he just couldn't get his fucking head around it. He's like, so you don't sing, you don't dance. He's like, no, I just like, it's a lifestyle. I'm a brand. Mm-hmm. And he's like, dude, you're literally interviewing her you're taking the fucking time to interview her. She obviously has some sort of fucking clout. I've never seen a guy so in the eye of the storm and he's out there with like sunglasses on, like looking for the sun. It's windy out and a tree could hit me in the head. Like he just couldn't get his fucking head around it. It was driving me up the fucking wall. Driving me up the wall. And then also like people acting like these little things were these high concept fucking bits. They're not. They're quick little fucking things. Like that dude going, I can do the whole Batman, Superman, what if in 4 seconds. Yeah, of course, yeah. Everybody said that. Yeah, Superman would just fuck him up. That was it. And then the old guy was going like, so like that's what you think would happen? Sorry. That and when you were watching your reality show, I tapped out when that girl finally just goes, for me, after she'd just been talking about herself. And then she's going to talk about herself, talking about herself. I had no idea my mom was that frustrated, that it affected her that way. And I just feel like, for me.
I know, I really do hate that. Just for me, I just feel like, I just feel like is not a great way to start a sentence. You should just say, I think, I feel. For
all
me,
of that reality show speak that you watch, mm-hmm. you know, and that made me feel a certain kind of way.
Some type of way.
Made me feel some type of way. It's always so fucking vague, but some type of way never means happy.
No.
Why can't you just say it fucking pissed you off? Maybe because this is a nicer way to say it.
Right. Maybe because you don't want to get into your specific emotions. So you're like, it just had me feeling some type of way.
Oh, no. There is not one woman on any of those shows that does not want to get into how they're feeling emotionally. That is what the entire fucking show is.
I don't know. I think it's just the way young people are speaking now. They don't say that made me frustrated or I was really angry.
No, that was like a.
You just say I'm in my feelings. You say no, I'm really in my feelings. She was really in her feelings about it, or I feel some type of way. That's what people say now instead of saying. I'm
those
angry,
Real Housewives were talking like that, and they got like 20-year-old kids.
Well, because they're trying to be.
I don't know. You know what I'm being right now? I'm being the old guy in 60 Minutes. I just can't get my head around
it.
Why anybody.
You say, I feel some type of way instead of saying I'm upset.
So no matter how great their lives are, they're always going to yell at each other and pull each other's hair. I'm doing that. Yes, Bill. That's what the fucking show is. And you enjoy this? Yes, Bill. That's why I watch it. All right. Hey, Nia, you know what? Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
You feel some type of way about all this, don't you?
Oh, my God. That guy in 60 Minutes, it was like, I swear to God. I wanted to eat the glass I was drinking out of.
Imagine explaining to your dad that whole concept.
Listen.
That's what that man was doing.
Yeah, and my dad would get it.
Your dad would be like, yeah, sure.
No, yeah, he wouldn't listen. Yeah, what'd you say? Okay. Christ, Bill, I'm tired. Okay, I don't need to hear this shit. Oh, I shouldn't tell this story, but I'm gonna.
What story?
I can't tell it because there's too many people I have to fucking protect. All I can tell you is that the authority figure called the house and said, shit. He said, listen, I can't prove it, but I know your son did some, X, Y, and Z.
Oh, right.
And then my dad goes, what do you mean? He goes, what do you mean you can't prove it, but you know he did it? And he goes, oh, Christ, I don't have time for this shit. And he hung up on him. He was the exact opposite of, I'm going to get involved with this shit. Like,
I really love that response.
No. My family, we're all loners. big family, but we all just do our own shit. And last thing, like the same way I don't want to like the way I've been paying for 3 cell phone numbers for the last, I didn't even realize it. To do the backstory, one time I was on the fucking road and Nia calls me up. She goes, why do you have like 3 different cell phone numbers? What the fuck? Are you living a double life?
Yeah.
And I go, I don't. I got 1. She goes, no, you got 3. And I go, no, I don't. I got 1. She goes, I'm looking at the bill right now. And what it was it was back in the 2000s.
I was so confused / angry / annoyed / okay, maybe it's just not what I think it is or whatever. But I'm like paying all the bills since you're on the road. So I'm like going through everything. And I'm like, this motherfucker has 3 numbers. Why? Why on earth would he have 3 numbers? I've only seen 1 phone. Does he have a secret phone, like a secret cell phone?
I got a little flip phone.
Because I know men do that sometimes. They have a secret little bat phone.
All right, this is what it was. This is what it was back in like 15 fucking years ago. Wasn't that maybe 12 years ago? It was when I was with you. Mm-hmm. I would go on the road, and this is before like smartphones and all of that, and you had to get the internet. And I'd go to these hotels, and they would charge me like $12.99 a day, $15.99 a day, and I wasn't making shit on the road. And it would add up. And that was still back when you'd get sides for your auditions emailed to you. Then you had to go down to the thing in the lobby and
business center
and print it out. So they came up with these little things. They look like hockey pucks. These little round things that you'd get your own internet. I think Bobby Kelly, dude, you got to get this, dude, right?
Oh yeah, my dad had one of those.
Yeah, and
plug it in,
and it came with like a phone number or something.
Okay.
So I got one of those. They explained how to do it. I did it one time. It worked. It didn't work again. And then I forgot about it to the point I forgot I even had it. And then I got another one. And then that one, I just, after a while, I just got a smartphone. And I never look at my bill. I just look, what does it cost?
Yeah.
So then, years later.
So you've been paying for this number.
I've been paying extra $50 a month. And they're still on my bill.
When are you going to take it off then?
I don't want to. I would rather pay $50 a fucking month than have to sit there and I'm not going to get upset. I can't fucking deal with calling up and going,
I need to cancel this. I'm no longer using it.
That's not how it works, though. You go in and it goes like, it's the robot. And then it's going like, if you want to do this, press 1. If you want to do that, press 2. And you always are existing at like 1.5. It's like a little bit 3, but a little bit 4.
And you're just like, Operator.
You press 0. I'm sorry, that doesn't fucking work. And then the worst thing ever is you get on and you think, yeah, who am I speaking with today? William Burr. Can I get your zip code? Can I get your fucking first goldfish's name? Can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get that? And then you tell them what the problem is, and they go, okay, I'm going to have to transfer you to somebody else. I'm like, hello. And then they go, okay, who am I speaking to? What is your zip code? What is the name of your go? It's like, I just fucking told you. See, here I go. I fucking told you all that shit. And I don't want to deal with that shit.
So you'd rather continue to pay this bill for the rest of your life?
No, I want to take them off. Of course I want to take them off. I just, that's not my top priority, Nia, is not fucking call. You saw when I tried to get the NFL network. I was on the phone for fucking 90 motherfucking minutes with people in Southeast Asia who didn't even know what it was hockey.
Yeah, you did really good. I was very proud of you that day. You were so calm. You were so polite. You didn't freak out.
You missed part of it when you left. And I was just like, listen, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but this is your second language and you don't even know what the sport is I'm talking. This would be like if you called me up and I, Rosetta Stoned how you speak and you want to watch cricket.
Rosetta Stoned?
Yeah. And they would just, she just goes, I'm sorry, I'm in Asia. Is that going to be a problem? And then I felt bad. I was like, no, it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? She goes, no, I get it. She was actually great. The first person was a fucking idiot. Wasn't a fucking idiot. He just was not a smart person. He lacked the tools for that situation. So no, I have to do it. There's so many fucking. If you knew the amount of fucking money that I throw away because I don't want to deal with the infrastructure,
right?
The amount of times I've bought a plane ticket. Okay, I buy a fucking plane ticket and then the thing gets canceled and I don't go. I don't call up. I just eat the price of the ticket. I do it
You do?
all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Because I am not going to www.delta.org. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not doing it.
Your travel person do it. Like when I wasn't able to go to Nashville, I emailed her and I said, I'm not able to go. And then I'll get a note.
Good. I thought I ate that ticket.
No. And she's like, I'm going to cancel it. And I said, I'm going to get a note from my doctor. And so maybe we'll be able to get reimbursed. And she's like, yeah, I just canceled it. Like, let me know and we'll do what we can.
I literally, I think I paid for a hotel room Sunday night because we were going to be there through Sunday night.
Yeah.
And rather than just stopping at the fucking front desk and just dealing with that, I just leave.
You never check out.
I don't check out.
You never do like the, hi, I'm leaving. How was your stay? Enjoyable? You just fucking
I leave.
Walk out the door. And I'm just like, wait, don't we have to check out? You're like, don't send me the bill.
They'll figure it out.
You never take the time to check out.
There's only,
you were the first, only person I know that doesn't go down there and is like, okay, goodbye, I'm leaving. Here's the key. See you later. You just fucking walk.
No, I just leave. I've done that with like rental cars. One time I got so shit-faced, so late into the night, and I didn't realize I had a 6 a.m. flight. I got up and I was still drunk, and I was like, I can't fucking, I tried to drive. I was like, I can't drive, and my GPS wasn't working because I was in like fucking, elk deer, fucking Montana or some shit. I was up in Canada.
Elk deer.
Yellowknife. They have all that shit. They're like us. They wiped out the Indians and then they just name shit after them to make themselves feel better, right? No, we didn't do that.
Like us?
Canadians. Well, like white people.
Right.
Yeah, you're not included in that.
No, I was going to say.
Watch a Trump rally. You're not a part of that. So, anyways, I remember one time I gave the keys to the guy at the hotel. I go, hey, can you take that back for me? I'm too drunk. Yeah, don't fucking worry about it. And I was so fucking shit-faced that when 2 weeks later they called me up going, yeah, where's the car? I was sitting there, and I always give a fake number.
Right.
So I'm like, what do you mean? I brought it back. How the fuck did you get this number? Leave me alone. They're like, sir, it hasn't come back yet. I go, I dropped it off. I just kept hanging up on him. And I don't know, there was something, the third time they called, I finally was just started thinking, I was just like, wait a minute. Did I bring that back? And I called up Verzi. And I was like, Verzi, did we bring that car back? And he was just like, oh, dude, I don't know. I don't remember. Because he was, we were all pretty we were out there. And Bartnick couldn't remember. And then I was just like, wait a minute, dude. There was a gig I did, and I gave the keys to someone at the hotel. Was that gig? And then we figured out that it was that gig. And then they drove down, and it was sitting there. That cost me like $1,200. Do you realize the house we could be living in?
Ridiculous.
No, I do it.
It's so
I do
ridiculous.
It all the fucking time because I don't give a shit. Money to me is just you're just writing a number on a piece of paper. And it's just if you just get past the fact that it actually has value.
Do you know what
if you just
position you're in to be saying that?
I've always been that way.
$50 a month is a lot to a lot of people to just be throwing away. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Listen, don't guilt me because Nia, I fucking time out. Time out. No, fuck that, Nia. Fuck that. I didn't know anybody in this business. I didn't take the safe fucking route. Okay, and go for the fucking, I'm going to go do something else.
You earned the right to blow $50 a month on numbers.
No, it's my fucking money. I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. I tried to be in the office area. I wore a fucking tie. I tried to do it. I sat in on meetings, and I literally all I would think about is whoever was talking, I wanted to run right at them, dive over their shoulder right through the fucking window, and nosedive into the fucking parking lot. I can't live in that fucking world, so I picked this shit where 99.9% of people fail.
All right.
So I took all of my chips, I put it on the fucking zillion to one shot, and it fucking came in. And one of the perks of my fucking business is I don't check out. I walk out. I don't want to talk to you. I fucking hate when I get into the fucking, just leave me alone.
That's the thing.
Just you don't want leave me.
You don't want to talk to anybody who's like, hi, can I help you? Let me get this right. You don't ever want to deal with any type of customer service on any level.
No, leave me
Even
alone.
if they're helping you, you don't even want to deal with them.
No, just leave me. I hate when I check into a hotel and then there's a phone call and you pick up, hello. Oh, hey, hi, Mr. Burr. Just checking to make sure everything was all right
I
with
know
your
you
room.
hate that
This is
so
like
much. You hate room. You hate housekeeping services.
Turn down service.
You hate all of that.
Oh my God! When my last one, like the lady was coming in, I'm like, she's knocking on the door. She's like, "Hey, room service." I'm like, "I'm all right. I'm all right." She just kept coming. I'm like, "I'm all right." Like, get out of here. I feel like I paid for that fucking room. I got the sign hanging out on the other. Do I have to have a guard out there? He wants to be left alone. What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? Is everything all right with the room? First of all, I'm an adult. If there was, I'm glad you called. There's water pouring in. I didn't know what to do. The fucking room's fine. The bed is on the ground. There's a mattress. And I lie on it. I know how to use everything in here. That's it. That's it.
Whenever we go to hotels, if we're on vacation or anything, and I'm like, Bill, can you, especially if we're in a foreign country, I'm like, Bill, can you call down and, ask them if they can make reservations or whatever, if it's like a different language. Bill always goes, no, you're better at that stuff than I am. And I'm like, all you have to do is ask them to do something. And he's like, no, I can't.
No, I'm not.
You have to do it. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it.
It's funny. When I got to Nashville so early, right? And I went into like the Sky Lounge thing. I'm not gonna say the airline I always fly, right? But I finally, somebody convinced me to fucking, go into the Sky Lounge area, right? So I go, all right, I'll fucking do that. But then that thing's fucking stupid because then you have to get to the airport early to make it worth it. It's like, I don't want to be here. I want to get here as late as possible, immediately get on the plane and get the fuck out of here, right? So anyways, I got there really early to Nashville. Didn't know that my fucking plane was going to catch on fire. So I go in there and they go, I go, yeah, I don't have my card on me. And then they go, what's your name? What was the name of your goldfish and all of that fucking shit? And I go through all of that. And then she looks up. She goes, oh, here you are. And I never use miles either. That's another thing. I always get miles, but I've never used them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go on the fucking website and deal with all that. How much does it cost? I'll write it on this piece of paper and fuck off, right? So she looks in and her eyes just go like big as saucers. She goes, you have 824,000 frequent flyer miles. I was like, oh, yeah, do I ask?
I thought you have used...
Yeah, you want them? Yeah. Because I ain't going on the fucking website.
I thought you used miles in the past when I first started flying with you to gigs. Didn't you use them then?
When I was making no money, when I made no fucking money, and then we were going to go on vacation,
yeah,
and I wanted to fly first class, they would use up all of my miles.
Right.
But then once I started making money, it's like I don't have to fucking deal with that anymore. I hated doing that because I call my travel agent and say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. You have to log on. Just go to fucking Continental. I used to fly Continental out of Newark all the time. You'd have to go to, I'm not good at it. I fucking hate it. I would rather just give you the money.
You have to ask our travel person to do it. Do you know that when I went to meet you, when I went to Chicago.
Hey, if I get over 1 million, do the pilots come back and say hello like they did with George Clooney in that movie?
Maybe.
I'm getting up there.
You are getting up there. But I got bumped or something like that. And so they give you the voucher, like it's a $300 voucher and whatever it is, $300 voucher. Do you know I took that, I scanned it and I emailed it to her. And I said, by the way, I got this voucher. So if you can use it towards Bill's next flight. And she was like, oh, great. Actually, I can. I'm like so on top of that shit. You would have been like, this fucking voucher.
You know how many times I got a voucher?
Thrown in the trash.
I lose it. I don't even know where it is.
Yeah. No, I held on.
What am I, some old lady eating cat food?
Once again, this is something that like most people would be like, oh, good, I can use this towards the next thing. And you're just like wiping your ass with it.
I'm not wiping my ass with it. Look how I dress. Like I got corduroy. I'm dressed like Malcolm Young on the Power Age tour. Some old white dudes get that reference. I I live within my fucking means, and it affords me an ability to not have to sit there. Hey, you got a voucher? Stand there. All right, sorry, the batteries just died there. I had to cut this out. Yeah, first of all, you're making it seem like I'm this spoiled rich kid who goes around burning, lighting $100 bills on fire. Nia, I've always fucking been that way. I've never, when I wasn't making any fucking money, and I was staying at the Ocho de la Super way back in the day, right? And they'd always have the continental breakfast, and you got to get down here by 10 a.m. And I did it one time, and I'm standing in line with all these people with these fucking old loafers, hoping they're not going to run out of batter for the fucking waffles. And I'm just sitting there going I can go to Denny's like a gentleman and just sit down and order a fucking waffle. I don't need a free fucking waffle. You know what I mean? That's like miserly shit to me. Mm-hmm. I get a voucher. All of that shit. I remember one time I was so fucking mad. They fucked me over so bad on this plane that I actually did that old lady shit. And I walked in and I was like, I've been waiting and I paid for this and blah, blah, blah. And my bag took all this fucking time. And then they were just like, all right, you got to go on the website. And I was like, I know because you don't think I'm going to do it. You don't think I'm going to do it. I went home and I fucking did it. And I took all of that time. And then there was, they just kept calling, emailing me back. And I kept having to confirm shit. And then I finally just said, fuck it. I don't have that fight in me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't wait for sales or any of that shit. If I need it, I go in and I fucking buy it. And whatever it costs me, if that means I can't do something else in my life, I just won't do that. But for me, you cannot put a price on getting that over with as quick as fucking possible.
Yeah. No, I'm giving you a hard time, but you do have a very healthy attitude about money. You're really good with money. You've taught me a lot about being responsible about money. But I think I have definitely that mentality of taking advantage of little stuff like that and oh my God, this costs extra. I have to cut it out, even if it does inconvenience me in some way. I just have that. I am a coupon person. I am a sale person. I'm always but it was on sale. It's discounted. That's still the way
I love
my
that
mind
shit.
works.
I love that shit. Yeah, it was on sale. Yeah, it was still $700. So you go the other way. But it was on sale. All of your fucking shoes and shit. All of this shit
everything that I buy for the most part is on sale. I use so many discounted websites.
Yeah, but it's still expensive as shit.
Yeah, but it's not as expensive.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I walk around and American Airlines is going to give me a free peanut butter and jelly sandwich because it was 20 minutes late. And I'm like, hey, dude, you know what? Keep your fucking sandwich. I'll buy my own sandwich. And you're making me act like I'm a fucking, a Trump or some shit. And you're over there buying $1,000 pair of shoes. Oh, it was on fucking sale. Drive me nuts with that shit. All right, I got to read some of the, I haven't even done any of the advertising. Let me see something here.
What have you been doing down here this whole time, huh?
Listening to the rats in the fucking wall. For me, I just feel for me. Ugh. All right, where's the advertising here? Here we go. I will tell you, I don't know, something. There's people that I grew up with that were really miserly like that. And they didn't leave good tips, and they just blah 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 blah. It's just fucking paper. Just give it to them, make them happy, and let's get the fuck out of here.
But when you don't,
let's just get the fuck out of here. But if you don't
have a lot of it, you have to be miserly. You have to find a way to survive and get what you want and still have some to live.
I moved to New York City. I ate spaghetti every night. I had a chair that became a fucking table. I did that all the fucking time. I can live on fucking nothing. I did it. But you know something? I still had money in the bank because I saved up for my day jobs because I knew New York was going to be expensive and I wasn't going to be that fucking guy going, oh God, I'm down to my last $20. How are you down to your last $20? Mm-hmm. How did you get yourself into that fucking situation? Okay, I'm talking about white male heterosexual. How the fuck did you get yourself in that situation? You fucked up. You fucked up your money. You're an adult.
Right.
So You know how much money you're making. You know what your fucking bills are. Mm-hmm. But, you start making money, and for the first half of the month, you're walking around acting like you make 3 times as much, and then the end of the fucking month, you're going to come to me and act like a fucking pound puppy, like you're, like the world did you wrong. It's like, no, you fucked yourself over. I believe you guys say you played yourself.
You played yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah, that's why I hate going to the bank at the beginning of the month. I hate it. It's a bunch of people whose money is fucked up. Okay? And it's depressing to see because they should have been educated on how fucking money works.
What do you mean? The first of the month when people get paid? And they're
or paydays, Saturdays, the day when the general fucking public goes in there. Every fucking fifth person is in there yelling through that bulletproof glass and can't understand. It's basic fucking math. Right. You put 200 in there, you withdrew 200,
so you don't
have any money left. I don't know. It's very rare that I fucking stick up for the banks, but when there's fucking people in there, I mean, there's all this information online. You know what I mean? There's all this, I don't know. I always had a job. I had a paper route since I was in 3rd grade, and then I had money for my football cards and my candy bars. I had my overhead was fine. And I remember my friends were always like, oh, I'm broke. Oh, I'm fucking broke. I'd be like, get a fucking paper route. Oh, I don't want to get up. Well, then go fuck yourself. Supposed to feel bad for you because you can't get doubles at lunch? You got to go to your mother? How old are you? Oh, I mean, are we 8 years old? Oh, I'm on my fucking soapbox. Right? Everybody should live the way I do.
A little enterprising BB.
I wasn't enterprising. I just fucking made money, and then I always had it, and I didn't blow it all.
The idea of you with a paper route, so you had money for football cards and candy, is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, it's the greatest thing. I loved football cards, and I used to go down. I used to ride my bike up to the corner store, and I would sit there, little freckle-faced me, going, "Do Topps football cards come out yet?"
Oh my God.
And they'd be like, "No, I'm sorry." And I would check every single day.
Oh my God!
And when they came out,
so cute.
When they came out, me and all my friends would buy them, and then we'd sit there, trade them, and stick in the big fucking piece of shit gum that they had that always fucked up the football card, usually the best one in the pack. And you'd sit there and cut the roof of your mouth as you're trying to chew it down. And we would just sit there and, root beer, candy, just all fucking sugar.
Yeah.
Just going through. I got Bob Greasy. I got O.J. Simpson. I got Walter Payton, all these guys way back then. Randy White, Jack Lambert. I still remember all their names. It was fucking great. Robert Newhouse, rest his soul.
So cute.
Yep. I used to make like $6 a fucking week. I was loaded.
Oh, that's a lot. No,
I was fucking loaded.
How old were you when you started that paper route? 3rd grade? So you're
third grade.
So you're like 8 years old?
And I kept it all the way to like freshman in high school, to the point of like, when the child star is just not cute anymore? No one wants a 6-foot paper boy. I'm not 6 feet tall, but that's just a funny number. So then I immediately went from that to then I just had there was this weird time. I didn't have a job because I was too old to be a paper boy, I felt. And then I was too young to have a job. Yeah.
Did you have a job in high school?
Well, so when I quit my paper route, I didn't have any fucking money coming in, and I was not used to that. Uh-huh. I hadn't dealt with that since I was way back in the 2nd grade. This was a crisis. This was my first 2008 that I went through. So I actually went down, I think it was to the principal's office, and I got a worker's permit that allowed me to work underage. Is that what I did? Yeah, to get this job that I wanted. And during the summertime, I used to caddy. Uh-huh. I used to caddy, and I used to try to get doubles, which is 2 bags. And, you'd just be running from one guy to another guy. And hopefully, it was always really bad when one guy really fucking sucked. But if they both sucked, it was brutal. If one guy sliced and the other guy hooked and they both were fucking righties, that was going to be a long afternoon for you. And, I used to do that, There was a couple.
I love hearing about your childhood stuff that you did. I just it's just so funny to me because now I pictured you, little cutie freckle face with your cards and your bubble gum and your
my orange hair. I didn't. I looked like a little fucking There's a such thing as an adorable scarecrow. That's what the fuck I look like.
And now you're like a high school kid running around the golf course with 2 golf bags on you. So you literally have worked your entire life.
Yeah. Then I got this job at this place called Morse Shoe. And we were doing
Morse Shoe?
Yeah. And it was like, I just remember this was the worst fucking job I ever had, as far as just like mind-numbingly fucking, it felt like 20 hours. It was like 2 hours at the end of every school day. I'd take the bus over and then I would fucking walk home like 2 miles or some shit like that. Back when you just do that as a kid, just walk along a fucking highway and nobody gave a fuck, right? And they had like these little cards, these computer cards with numbers on them, and you had these order forms, and you had these little manila envelopes. I still don't know what the fuck it was. It was something for them to then feed into this computer. This was like 1984 or some shit. I hated that job. Then I got into warehousing. Yeah. And when I got into warehousing, then I got my first loan. My dad co-signed the loan, and
for the car?
For the car, yeah. But I put all the down payment. He didn't pay a dime of it. I bought the whole I got a 3-year loan from Danvers Savings Bank, Conant Street. I still remember writing the thing. It was $138.63 a month. Still remember that shit. Mm-hmm. Paid that whole fucking thing off. Ended up getting another paper route with the truck, where I would drive in the morning.
You just went back to the paper route was almost like your fault.
But I did the warehousing during the day. No, then I had 2 jobs, and I was also then I got rid of that thing just because my friends teased me. Oh, what are you, a fucking paper boy? And it felt stupid. It was great.
You're like, yes.
No, but it was like an extra $100 a week, which was huge, right? So I ended up quitting that, and the fuck did I go from there? I tried selling newspaper subscriptions.
Didn't you have a telemarketing type of job?
Yeah, I had that. But when I went to college part-time, and I paid for my education. Mm-hmm. And all the way to like my last year, my parents helped me out with that. And I also got a loan from another family friend. But I paid all of them back. Mm-hmm. I paid all of them back before I moved down to New York. Now, then when I started doing stand-up, I also had a day job. And I was still living at home, and I was still driving that piece of shit truck that I bought in '85.
The red truck, right?
Right. And I drove that thing for 10 fucking years. And I remember when the engine died, and I was at work, and somebody was going like, so now what are you going to do? What are you going to buy? And I was thinking of buying, and I was going to buy like a Toyota Corolla, or just something like a comic car that could, go like 200,000 miles. And I finally was just like, fuck this, man. I know I want to move to New York. I can spend like a new car, like a Corolla back then was like, this is early 90s, it was like 11, 12 grand, which was a ton of fucking money, especially for me at that time. And, or I could just spend $1,500 and have them rip the engine out and put a new one in. So that's what I did. And I just remember this woman at work. I've told this story before. She just said, she goes, where's the new car? They get a new car. I said, you know what? I just had a new engine put in my truck instead. And she just made this face. She was just like, that was stupid, and fucking walked away. And she was really beautiful too. And I was just like, you know what? It probably was stupid, because I guess if I got the new car, I could have banged you. I don't know. So, so I had that truck, and that was the one. Like my first 3 years of comedy, I drove around doing that thing. That's when I met Patrice. He rode, everybody that I knew from back then rode around in that thing. And then, long story short, there was an electrical fire and it burned down right before I moved to New York, which was fine because having a car in New York is a pain in the ass. So when I moved down to New York, I had no debt. I paid off my student loans. I had no credit card debt. I got myself out from, I had like the revolving $700 with the credit card debt. I just got myself out of it, and I didn't buy anything. I was like Jimmy the Jet. Take it back. Don't buy anything. Don't fucking, if I could say any advice to any young person out there, okay? When you're young, is when they give you those credit cards, man, do not fucking rack those. And if you have, you got to knock those fucking things down.
Yeah.
Okay? Figure out what the fuck you want to do before you're involved in some sort of serious relationship, which is going to be like, but I want to live here. Fuck all of that. Get on the path you want to get on. Eat your fucking spaghetti in the morning. Whatever you gotta fucking do. If you gotta deliver papers in the fucking morning and all this other shit to do it. And who knows? Maybe then you too can have fucking 9 cell phone numbers and not want to get on the phone.
Walk out of a
Can you help me with that? Can you seriously help me with that? Can you just like do that for me?
Yes. I mean, I can get through half of it for you. But then eventually you're
I'll just be in the background
and
when they ask the questions.
Yeah, I will help you do that because it's ridiculous that you're continuing to pay for that. That's.
But I also thought too, because I thought I signed a contract on them. So I'm worried that I can't get out.
There's always ways to negotiate your ways out of that. Like I'm good at that stuff. Yeah,
Tell them that I died.
No, I'm not going to do that.
And that you're taking over the thing because then they'll feel bad.
We'll figure it out without telling anybody that you died.
Okay. Well, I'm done for the fucking year as far as gigs. You want to do that? Let's get rid of those other two.
Yeah,
I want to see what my bill's going to do.
Let's get rid of any like extra shit you're paying for because you don't want a deal. Yeah, let's take care of that, please.
No, I have a lot of shit like that. There's other things that I remember when I bought this laptop. I was just, they were like, do you want to take any classes or anything like that? And blah, blah. And I signed up for all of them.
What do you mean?
At like the Apple store.
Classes?
To like teach you how to fucking get better at this shit.
Oh, God. Like you were ever actually going to do that.
Nope. Never even went once.
Oh, did you tell the listeners how you ordered like 20 of those adapters for your new iPhone 7?
No, what I did was I was so mad that I ordered 5 of them. And then they were just like, yeah, it's going to be 10 business days. And I was like, fuck, I can't listen to my music for 10 days. How am I going to get through my workout? And then the next day I drove down to the Apple store and then they had a bunch of them. So I said, fuck it. And I bought 5 there. And now when I came back, I got another 5. So now I got 10 of them. This is what you married, Nia.
Complete waste of money. Again.
It's not a complete waste of money. All right. Well, good. Well, it's a good thing I got advertising here so I can fucking blow it on all my cell phone numbers and adapters. All right. You want to read some fucking questions here for the week?
Remember when people would order your CD, that people would order emotionally unavailable?
Yep.
And I would help you mail them out.
Yeah, we go right down
padded envelopes.
To mailbox, etc.
Yeah, we'd sit there and like fill out all the little padded envelopes and put them in there. And, like, you'd be doing, like, 20, 40 or something at a time. We go down to mailboxes, et cetera. Like, you did it all yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was fun.
That's what you got to do. All right, here we go. Website suggestions. Sorry about that, Nia. I just realized this thing's really long. This podcast has been really long. And you're sitting there reminiscing. I was like, yep, I enjoyed that. That was a wonderful moment that I had with you.
Moving on.
It was in those moments that I knew I wanted to marry you. All right.
Is that true?
Huh?
Is that true?
No, you know what, Nia? Some shit I don't tell the listeners. I know when I was going to decide to marry you. All right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to hear when. That one's for us. All right. Website suggestions. Oh, I said, I always go to the same fucking 5 websites, and now that I've been kicked off Facebook, unless I give them my fucking passport number. That's the thing. This is the thing I'm telling you, Nia. You just walk. You fucking walk.
Did you talk about the whole fingerprint thing?
Oh, when I bought the car? Yeah, when I bought my Jaguar, they asked me for a thumbprint.
Like
a fingerprint.
Why? Fuck?
I almost laughed.
Car dealership. He was so... I really wish you guys could have seen this guy's face when Bill told him no. He didn't know what to do. Like, he was really... His brain kind of broke for a minute because he was just like, and you're like, yeah, I'm not giving it to him.
Yeah, what are they not going to sell me the car? Because I'm gonna...
Yeah, no, of course they're going to take it. But he was just so used to people being like, oh, okay, well, that's weird. Okay, whatever. And just getting it over with. And you just kept being like, no, I'm not doing it.
No, I said, I'm not giving my fingerprints to a car dealership.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's for your security and this and that. And you're just like, I'm not doing it. And you were right. There's no reason. No matter what they say about security, someone coming in pretending to be you.
No, that's when I have fun with them. I go, look, if you can justify why I'm going to give you my thumbprint, I'll do it. And then they sit there and they say dumb shit like, well, in case someone tries to impersonate you and buys the car.
No.
That's not going to fucking happen.
You dealt with like 5 different people at that dealership. They know who you are. They're not going to no. It's insane.
No, even if I didn't do what I did for a fucking living, I still wouldn't worry about it. You don't give your fucking fingerprints to a car dealership.
Yeah.
Those people lie for a living. What are they going to do with that thing?
And then we met a woman who was like, oh, yeah, they asked me that too. And she just did it because she was just like, okay.
And there it is.
That's what they asked for.
And now it's out there.
And he's like, he was like, I've never had anybody say no to this. And what did you say?
Oh, I say, yeah, you never met anybody like me before. I was just talking shit to make you laugh, though. I saw you smile. It's very hard to get you to laugh, though. I was just talking shit.
I love that. I was actually very much, and usually when you get into like difficult BB mode and you are just like giving the other person like the hardest time.
I prefer to say I'm informed, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, when you're like unnecessarily giving somebody a hard time who's just trying to do their job and they're already tired.
What, take my fingerprints?
No, like when you call up the Time Life people to order the easy listening set and you're so short and rude to them when they're just trying to like do their job. I find it very cringeworthy.
That fucking asshole. I forget what he asked me for.
They're always trying to upsell, yeah.
No. He was trying to get all this information out of me. Like all this extra information. Like,
You're like, just send me the goddamn CDs.
Yeah, just send me the CDs. And the guy goes, well, I can't send you the CDs unless you fucking... There was like some ridiculous thing, like my social security number. They're all doing this because they're sharing the information.
Yeah, they do sell the information.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, and they don't give a fuck what they expose me to as far as identity theft. So I go, I'm not fucking doing it. Then the guy goes, this conversation's over. I go, yeah, well, then it's over. Go fuck yourself. I hung up. I was totally within... You always paint me out as a bad guy, Nia. My world, I'm always the victim.
Yeah.
I'm always the victim.
That's certainly true.
All right, website suggestions. Because I was always saying I always go to the exact same website. All right, Reddit.
Oh, God, no.
They've also mentioned that you have a Reddit subpage and would love for you to do a AMA someday.
Ask me anything. They've asked you to do that.
Yeah, I'm not fucking doing that. You can't ask me anything.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking sitting there, hey, you've always been a douchebag. I'm going to fucking sit through that for 2 hours waiting for like one legitimate question.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Billy Red Balls.
Yeah, Bill's never going to do and ask me anything.
I'm not saying never say never. If I got like maybe an F is for family, ask me anything, I'll do that. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
they can just go you just have to know. I mean, or maybe you'll just have to ignore a lot of like bullshit. But
once again, Nia, I'm walking by the front desk.
You're not checking out.
I'm not checking out. I'm just fucking... And if that hurts my career, it hurts my career.
There are some people who ask genuine questions.
Yes, they are. Yes, there are. And those are few and far between. Nia, the world has a sweaty hand and a really hot armpit.
Right. I'd be very surprised.
And they're going to put their hand around you when they go to take the picture, and you're going to feel their hand drying off into your shirt, and your other shoulder heating up.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what you're going to run into. And then all the cool people that you really want to talk to are going to be like, oh, I don't want to bother. I don't want to bother this person, and they leave. Those are the people that you want to talk to.
Yeah. But if Netflix asked you to do it, would you do it?
Do what?
An AMA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in business with them. If they think it's going to sell the show, you can't be that's a jerk-off move.
Yeah.
To get in business with somebody and then not fucking promote it. I mean, look, if they want me to sit on like a Dunkin' stool. If I could do like that guy Drown the Clown, that guy I saw years ago on the Opie and Anthony show. We went to one of those metal fucking festivals, and they had this guy who was called Drown the Clown, and this dude just sat there giving people shit.
Right.
And he'd make them so mad. It was like Bull Durham, and they couldn't fucking hit it. And he just had like that Krusty the Clown doing that laugh. And I remember, he would do the laugh. He would give them shit and make fun of how stupid they were. And then they would miss. And he'd be like, ah, ah. And they'd be like fucking grabbing three. And he just kept going, ah, ah.
Oh my God.
And it was so fucking obnoxious.
Yes.
And, like, he just really be walking by. I was like, hey, look at the fat guy. Look at the fat guy. Hey, fatty, you ever going to work out? You in the purple shirt. Yeah, you're fat. Doing that, and he would just piss him off. I forget who I was with. No, Nia, I'm telling you. I'm doing a bad impression of it because it was so long ago. Dude, I was the combination of crying, laughing, and then also going like, is this the greatest street performer I've ever seen in my life? He was fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. I was kind of jealous of the job. Like, I was like, that's a fucking great job. Oh, my God. Rest his soul. Can you imagine Patrice in that job?
Oh, my God.
People wouldn't want to drown him just so they could hear what the fuck he was going to say.
I was going to say, he'd be too good at it.
All right, here we go. Barstool Sports. Well, Barstool Sports, I go to that one. Here's one, www.slashfilm.com. An easy-to-read, non-snarky movie website. Okay. Tumblr. Hey, Bill, search for... I thought that was a dating site.
It's Tinder.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't need that with all my cell phone numbers.
God.
If you're into antique cars, you can follow accounts that post pictures of classics. I use this to follow music, photography, and arts. It's endless, and having the app on your phone is a more stimulating way of killing time instead of Twitter.
Tumblr is a good one. I like Tumblr.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not the only one who's sick of the same 10 websites to go into. So if anybody, in the future, if you guys know, find some cool websites or whatever, let me know. It'll be a bunch of self-promotion here. What was the Kardashian thing?
What?
For me, for me.com.
I just feel like.
All right. I was saying I was getting into punk rock, how I kind of missed that. And I've always wanted to get into it, but I just don't know where to go and who's good or whatever. And I was watching this Rancid video that led me to watch one of the guitarists gave an interview, and he talked about this one band, which I already forget the name of, something 69, and the front man blew me away. And I just don't know shit about punk rock. It always sounded to me like I was joking. It sounds like angry karaoke. You know what I mean? Where they weren't quite in tune singing and shit. And I just read up on all of this stuff, and it just interests me. And so people have been telling me bands. Okay, all right, punk rock bands. Obviously, The Clash, I've heard of them. Operation Ivy, Dinosaur Jr., Dead Kennedy, Kings of Nothing, Leftover Crack, The Meteors. All right, well, something. The Dead Kennedys I've listened to. I'll have to check out, Black Flag and all these bands. Like my brother, some of my brothers used to listen to this shit, and I just couldn't get into it. And now I'm really finding that I'm liking it. So I'm definitely going to check them out. I'll definitely check out Kings of Nothing, Leftover Crack, and the Meteors, because I never heard of any of them.
I've heard of Dinosaur Jr.
I heard of them too. I thought that they were more like a college band.
Me too.
All right, Nashville. Maybe somebody's fucking with me. Maybe that'd be funny too, by the way. Donnie and Marie. All right, Nashville. Hey there, Billy Benchmark. I was at your 9:30 Nashville taping, and it was amazing. I remember every minute of it like it was a Super Bowl. Can't wait till it comes out. When does it come out? Are you watching South Park this season? Go fuck yourself, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, the 9:30 show was fucking crazy. And I just hope it all comes together well. I've already looked at some of the pictures and shit, and I hate going through the editing process.
You got to do it.
I got to do it. All right. Applause or laughs?
Are you watching South Park, they asked. My brother said it's been excellent this season. Just
I know. Why you always tape The Simpsons? I love The Simpsons. Can we tape South Park too? It's like the best social commentary for almost 20 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I should be watching it too. I forget about it.
Okay. All right. Applause or laughs? Hey, Bill, I was watching one of your older specials because I fucked up and forgot to get tickets to the one you filmed on Friday. By the way, congratulations. I can't wait to see it. Thank you. Why is my stomach grumbling? I bought all this fucking... I know,
because we ate KFC.
Yeah, we ate shit food.
We should not have.
No. Well, I ate so well up to the special, I kind of went off the rails this weekend. But starting tomorrow, I'm getting back into it. All right, on this particular special, why do I do this? I notice a lot of people in the crowd cheering versus laughing. So here's a simple question. While on stage, what gives you a greater sense of accomplishment, laughs or applause?
That's a really good question.
Thanks, and fuck those people who tell you to fuck yourself.
That's
well, laughs usually...
It's a really interesting question.
Well, the applause is an applause break. Usually like a laugh goes into an applause. Mm-hmm. It's never like you just say something... If you just say something and nobody laughs and they just applaud, then you kind of made a statement, and that's like the douche chill moment. Like, I mean, what they really need to be doing is spending more money on education.
Right. That's applause.
Yeah, if you're doing that during a comedy show, I'll tell you, that's a rough one,
So you'd rather laughter.
Yeah, I much
remember laughter.
Yeah, I like when they're laughing. I will say that applause is great too, but sometimes during like a taping, then that's when it just you'll as a rookie you'll feel weird, like, oh my god, they're clapping, and they're all overly amped up because they know they want you to have a good special, so they're clapping, and then you don't know what to do, but they'll always edit around it because they can make it shorter. So for the comics out there, don't worry about those moments. They can also, if you have a dumb look on your face, like, please stop clapping so I can get to my next joke, they'll just go to the master shot, and they won't see that look on your face, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But yeah, I definitely like making people laugh to the point that they can't clap. That's what I would prefer. I, of course, don't always do that, but there are guys out there that I've seen, like it's hard for like a Brian Regan level funny guy when I would watch him live for the crowd to even be able to applaud because they're laughing so hard.
Yeah.
He's the first guy I ever saw made somebody slump over. Like, there was an empty chair next to this lady. I think the other person fucking ran to the back of the room. He was killing so hard. And
I like that kind of laugh.
The woman was just fucking...
I like that kind of laugh where you, like... You've seen when I laugh really hard, and if I'm sitting down, I get up and I, like, run away because I'm laughing so hard. It's too much. I love that kind of laugh. That's like that Apollo laughter. Because you know how, like, black people, like at the Apollo, if they're laughing really hard, they're, like, freaking out.
Yes.
And, like, getting out of their seat and just, like...
waving towels and shit. Like, yeah, the whole...
And, like, hitting each other.
Yeah.
Like, when we think something's funny, we think it's really fucking funny.
Yeah. And when you don't think it's funny, you really don't think it's funny. Yeah, that's what I learned during those rooms. Black crowd's going to have fun with or without you, so you better...
Basically.
Yeah, they're either going to laugh with you or they're going to laugh at you.
There's no pity laughter. There's no pity applause. No, we don't do that. You better be funny.
Some of the fucking heckles I got in those rooms. The worst is when they would just be talking to each other about how not funny you were. I'll never forget just on stage, just bombing. It was just dead silence. And I just heard this woman in the middle of the crowd. She just looked around at everybody. She just goes, I ain't laughed yet. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh, and there was no.
Oh God, I love black audiences.
There was no
so much fun because there's no politeness.
Yeah, if you're in the crowd. If you're in the crowd.
No, of course.
Yes.
If I was on stage, it would be so rough, but it's so enjoyable to be a part of it because nobody cares about your feelings.
Oh, not at all. Not even fucking remotely. Whenever I did a black show,
I ain't laughed yet.
No, just so like
hilarious.
She was
terrible for you.
Dead.
Sorry.
No, she was right though. Whenever I did those shows, I always felt like in the end, whenever I did the uptown rooms, as they call it, you'd get off stage and you asked yourself one of two questions. One, why am I not world famous yet? Or two, what the fuck did I ever, why the fuck did I ever think I should ever even be in this business? Because it went one way or the other. You either murdered or you wanted to crawl out of there.
Yeah.
Talent used to have this room, LeBar Bat, on the fucking Upper West Side. It was after work, black crowd, and it was every other fucking time. Every other time I killed, every other time I fucking ate it. And oh man, I saw them fucking Jimmy Mack, Uncle Jimmy Mack, rest his soul.
Yeah.
I saw him one time. He was having a tough set. I think I bombed. It was just one of those fucking crowds that just weren't laughing that week. Every other week they'd laugh. Every other week they weren't. And he was having a tough set. And I just remember he was bombing so bad, and this woman was heckling him so bad he had to bring up his career. He started talking about his IMDb. Like, yeah, I've done. And he goes, he brought up how he did Comic View or something like that, and like he goes, I don't give a shit. He's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. You don't think I'm funny? You know, I got a career. And she just went like, I can't remember how she said. She said N-word, what career? And then just dressed him down. I remember I had to go on after it, and like. Jimmy was the man, right? He was the fucking man. And I'm just like, this guy's got 10 years on me. If he can't handle this fucking crowd, what's going to happen to me? And they would just, like, he got off, and then I went up, Talent went up, and Talent had this tag where he would, the worst tag that Talent could say after your set was when he would go up, he'd be like, come on, y'all, comedy ain't easy. When he said that, you were the guy who bombed. Was just like, oh fuck, right? So he already did for Jimmy. Come on, y'all, comedy ain't easy, right? The only time I ever saw him have to do it for Jimmy because he always killed, and then he brought me up that. Oh God, I thought about that fucking show for like a month. I would just think of the shit that people said to me. I'd be in the shower thinking of it, and just it would pop into my head, and I'd do that thing, like trying to shout it out of my head.
Here's the thing, though, Bill, because you always talk about how heckling like is a part of stand-up comedy, right? But,
absolutely, it is.
But the thing is, though, I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it, but I just feel like you don't do that. You don't fucking heckle. You let people go up and do their thing, and then like that's it. Like you don't heckle people at a play. You don't. Well, I guess people do heckle people at concerts and shit like that, sort of. But for the most part, you don't. Why is it that stand-up?
That's what makes stand-up awesome.
Creates this environment where people really feel like they need to interact with you to that level.
Because you're standing there and you're not giving a speech. You're talking to them.
Okay.
So, like, I think it's that. Like, the bands get heckled and all that.
Yeah,
I love hecklers. That to me, like.
But you're not. But you don't want to encourage people to be heckling to a point of disruption.
No, like not to that level, but like those. It's I don't know. It's. I always thought it was the most terrifying thing when I started out. Like, what am I going to do? Because you knew it was going to happen. What am I going to do when I get heckled? Mm-hmm. What am I going to say? Mm-hmm. And blah, 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 blah. Like, what the fuck is going to happen? But watching seasoned vets handling hecklers was like this art form. It was an art form within the art form. Mm-hmm. So,
and you're really good at handling hecklers, but I can see why some stand-ups would want those people tossed from the place because they're disrupting the shit. And what you're going to spend?
Yeah, but that's but it's always been that way.
Material that you're working on so hard.
Richard Pryor got heckled,
fucked up by somebody in the crowd.
Richard Pryor got heckled in his own stand-up special. Okay, if he didn't whine about it, like I don't think anybody else should be. Yeah. Okay, if the crowd's going to heckle him, like what are you fucking special? Like I look, every comedian can run their shit the way that they want to run their shit, but like I look at it like I say a lot of fucked up things on stage that are going to make, I always fucking give women shit and like, are they really supposed to just sit there and not say anything? When I go down south, I'm always talking, I'm always fucking around. Going, when you guys came here, you took a shit in your outhouse, and you came down here. At some point, somebody's gonna
so obnoxious.
Yeah, like
you definitely like to push people's buttons that way. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it's fun. That's what people did.
You're a provocateur.
No, I'm not. It's breaking balls, and then they bust your balls back, and then it's funny.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I understand that.
I don't know. I do get annoyed when some people they'll say do they heckle at a Broadway play? It's like, dude, you're not doing this. Isn't Broadway?
That's all right, the way I look at it.
Twinkle toes.
No,
go fucking put on your tap shoes and a cat suit.
That's
and go
the way I look at it, though. You wouldn't heckle a Broadway show. Why are you heckling a comedian? But
because you don't go to a Broadway show and somebody, hey, look at this fucking jerk off. What do you do for a living?
That's a good point.
Yeah, they don't do that either, right?
How long is this podcast? I don't want to be torturing people with.
Oh, who gives a shit at this point? I got to read the rest of these things. All right. Getting off heroin. Oh, by the way, they were mentioning all those they were mentioning all those punk rock bands. I actually found a band that I thought was pretty cool. Because I was watching a YouTube video. Let me see if I can remember this. This is, what'd you call this kind of music, Nia? Trip hop. I don't know what the fuck.
Mid to late 90s, early 2000s.
Mid to late 90s.
This is my college years. It was all about trip hop, ambient.
The supreme beings of leisure.
Of leisure. It was like them. It was like Portishead.
Wait, why did you just finish that like you knew who the fuck they were? Now, I downloaded this. It was one of the few times you didn't know who they were.
I did not know who they were.
And then you just chimed in like you knew.
Because I'm trying to. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
You know Massive Attack, though, right?
No.
Do you know Portishead?
I've heard of them, yes.
What about Sneaker Pimps?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was there a reason for any of that?
I was just
You're
saying
just listing bands?
they all sort of like lived in that same kind
Oh, okay.
of trip-hoppy, electronica.
All right, let's see what I've downloaded
shit.
recently. Supreme Beings of Leisure.
Leisure.
Oh, I pre-ordered the Pretenders' new one, Alone. It's got Jim Keltner on drums. The fucking album sounds crazy, man.
Leonard Cohen has a new album, and I was listening to some of the songs, and I love Leonard Cohen, though.
Well, if you're
82 years old.
If you're a Pretenders fan, this is a fucking great album. I was listening to that shit when I was getting your chicken. I downloaded Rancid.
Did the Pretenders sing the theme song to Friends?
Green Day.
Is that them?
I thought I downloaded. Oh, it didn't fucking transfer. And then I downloaded that fucking punk band.
Wait, Bill.
Oh, you know what I downloaded? Because I was working with Todd Rex. We were laughing about that song Dream Weaver, and we were singing
Aerosmith?
it. So, no, that's Dream On.
Oh.
You know this song, right? Am I going to have to pay for this? You know this. I just
You're a
closed
dream weaver.
my eyes today.
Yeah.
This fucking song, after you did
Cosmic Man.
This is the shit, like after your day's done, the thing you didn't want to do and you finally fucking got through it, right? You take your drug of choice, you get behind the wheel of your car. I'm joking, you don't do that. He's so intense here. Jesus fucking Christ.
I've just closed
This guy.
my eyes.
Hey. I've heard this song a million times. I don't know the words. You know the deal. And then it kicks, the fucking drums come in, right?
Wait.
Woo, 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 Dream Weaver.
Did the Pretenders sing the theme song to Friends? Was that them? Who was that?
What?
Who was it? Wasn't it a kind of no? All right, I don't know.
The Pretender, Chrissy Hines. If Keith Richards was a
that's who
fucking.
that is?
If Keith Richards
never
was a
mind.
chick,
Never mind.
how dare you?
Chrissy lives in her own lane, though. I mean, she did model herself after like rock stars, of course, but like she exists in her own space.
That was a nice recovery after you suggested that she did the fucking Friends. Didn't she do like Third Rock from the Sun?
I didn't realize that was her band.
All right. Well, you're almost a millennial. That's a new excuse for older people.
no,
I'm fucking
not.
with you. All right. Let's get through here. Getting off heroin. Oh, here's a good one. Hi, Bill. Just wanted to say thank you. Your podcast is a big reason that I am finally having some success in getting off the dope. Thanks. P.S. Brotherhood/TV series equals fantastic. Well, that's great, man. I don't know what I'm doing to help you get off dope, but if you listen to this helps you, please keep doing it.
I told you I met a kid.
You know what it is? Because now he doesn't have to take dope because he listens to one. Hey, I'll be here all week,
I
man.
told you I met this kid that told me that he was in recovery and that you listen to your comedy and stuff really helped him get him through because he was having really dark days. And so to be able to laugh was really helpful. I thought that was amazing.
It is. Not necessarily funny, but we'll continue on. Yeah, I got like 3 more I got to fucking read.
Well, why don't you just save them for Thursday?
Lady, because you know what? Oh, great tease. Great that you brought that up. Mm-hmm. Fucking, guess who I'm having as a guest?
Who?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, is he going to bring some elk burgers?
Elk meat. Finally making his first appearance.
Oh,
his
my
first
goodness,
appearance.
how exciting.
He'll be on the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast.
How
All right,
exciting.
Lady in Law School. All right, Nene, maybe this is for you. What's up, Billy Butterballs? I'm 27 and a fellow Hockomock alum. I just moved down to CT from Connecticut, okay, from Boston for law school. There's this girl who I hit it off with right away. She's beautiful and we really click. I found out she had a boyfriend about 2 weeks into school. Oh, about 2 weeks into school and backed off. But there was still little subtle hints that she was into me. Fast forward to our school Halloween party mid-October. She gets hammered and tells me to man up and make a move. Me, being the sober guy that I am, denied her advances because she's still in a relationship. The following day, she breaks up with her boyfriend, and we ended up making out a couple days later. She soberly confesses her feelings for me, to which I affirm my own. This is going good, right? This is all quality. Everything was above board. Literally 2 days later, she tells me she doesn't want anything romantically and needs to focus on herself. No disrespect to the ladies, but I've been through this shit before where a newly single girl flip-flops with their feelings. I think everybody flip-flops when they're newly single. My question is, what should I do? I feel like an idiot for telling her how I feel and then getting rejected. You shouldn't. You shouldn't feel. Yeah, you were a man. You said how you felt.
Exactly. And you were very respectful of those relationship boundaries. So I don't think you've done anything wrong here.
He said, on the one hand, I want to say fuck her, but on the other hand, I want to remain friends. I also literally can't avoid her. If you're ever in New Haven, check out The Owl. It's a solid cigar bar. Looking forward to all your new material coming out. Thanks, and go fuck yourself.
I like this guy.
Yeah, here's the deal, dude. It's going to take way too much energy to fucking sit there and try and not to look at her and all of that shit. So just, you said what you fucking felt about her. She's not in that place in her life. So, that's where she's at. You were both honest. Just leave it at that. When you see it, just say, hey, how are you? How you doing? I mean, just keep it at that. How was your weekend? Oh, that's great. And just keep it like that. And
keep it light, but don't get sucked into the... Because who knows? Like, she might try to suck you into the whole...
Of course she's going to.
She feels lonely this weekend.
Of course she's going to.
Let's make out. Oh, my God, too much. Back and forth. Like, it's a slippery slope. So don't get sucked back into it. So be cool. Don't, ignore her. Don't be weird. But don't...
but you know how women are.
Going to be... don't try to be friends with this girl.
And the more he fucking stays, though...
Don't try to be friends with her.
The more...
Be friendly.
The more he fucking does that, though, the more she's going to fucking want him, though. That's how it works. If he's just like, look, I respected what you said the other day. I feel like you're in a very highly emotional state where you're going to be flip-flopping and I have to protect myself. So, no, I'm busy. I definitely want to be friends with you, but let's just leave it at that. Yeah. That will fucking drive her nuts.
Of course.
And if she keeps saying no, she'll end up blowing somebody else in that class just to get back at him.
Well,
what I'm saying.
Let her spiral in her,
I probably shouldn't have said that last shit. I'm just fucking. I was trying to be funny, but no, dude. Okay, you went in. Look how hurt you got 2 seconds into knowing that chick. You want to fucking know her for 4 seconds? You want to keep coming back? I wouldn't. I would just stay friendly with her, and I would leave it at that.
Friendly, but not friends. There's a difference. You don't need to be.
That sounds like an Oprah book. Friendly, but not friends. Ooh, I like that.
Because that's how you get yourself friend zoned as a male or a female. Doing that thing where but we're still friends. No, we're really good friends. No, we're actually really good friends. It's no. If someone has feelings and someone doesn't, or someone has feelings and someone's flip-flopping, you can't be friends only with that person because it's uneven. A friendship is when two people have mutual respect for each other and you're on the same wavelength. You can't fully be friends if one is always pining for the other. That shit just doesn't work. So, at this time in her life, he can't be friends with her. Friendly, what's up? How you doing? How was your weekend? Great. Boom. Moving on. That's it. But he wants to fuck her. So that's the problem.
Yeah. We'll let him deal with all of that shit. We just give out information. Neither one of us are professionals. If you want to listen to it, you
Not
can.
at all.
All right. Killing it at warehouse job. Hey, Bill, a while back you talked about working at your old warehouse job and going in every day and killing it. Well, it inspired me to seek out one of those jobs. And I've been at this job for about a month and a half. Let me tell you, I fucking love it. The physical work is great, unloading trucks and taking big pallets of products and stocking them in the back room. I fucking love that job, man. I love that job. I've been doing so, and the truck drivers are fucking hilarious. There's so many artists and shit that work in warehouses. There's so many people that played in bands and were just funny. It was fucking great. All the suits in the carpet area, it was terrible. Anyways, he says, I've been doing so well that one of the leaders told me that my boss was bragging about me in a meeting with the corporate headquarters. They even support me in my music and concert photography career as well. I told you, it's always artists out there. He said, I photographed Metallica up close and personal here in Minneapolis in August. I worked my way up to getting 40 hours a week, and I'm loving the progress. Now, my question is, when do you think it's an appropriate time to ask for a raise or ask about benefits? I've only been there a short time, but I think I proved myself valuable to the company and want to move forward as quick as I can. Would like to hear your thoughts Thank you for the inspiration. Well, it seems to me that you got this other fucking thing that seems like a way better job. If you're taking pictures of Metallica, isn't that the direction you want to go in? I mean, I would use this day job as a way to keep yourself afloat financially until you get your photography business to a level where you can do that full time and not need to worry about anything else. But either way, no matter what you want to do with your life, you don't kill it for a month and then be like, hey, all right, hey, I did something for you. Can you do something for me?
I was going to say, I mean, not to be cynical, but I'm sure they love you now. But as soon as you ask for more money, I think that shit's going to flip on you real quick.
Yeah, you got to be there.
Careful. They're not your friends.
Wait, what it is, you got to figure out when the review is.
Yeah.
Some places have a 6 months, some have a year. That's when you ask. You don't dictate your own. Like, this guy's acting like he was like a fucking 1 month free agent.
Yeah, don't mistake their like encouragement for them wanting you to now like, and while we're at it, let's give this kid like $10 more an hour. Like,
Yeah, but that is they'll probably be like, maybe we can move this guy up for a position or something like that. So it's all good that they're saying that stuff. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't.
Definitely positive, but just, I don't know.
All right,
Take Bill's advice.
Breastfeeding in public.
Yes.
Dear Billy Crimson Tits, let me see this. This is why I don't do Ask Me Anything, because this is all it's going to be.
There are so many, hey, Billy, like when you were on The Simpsons, someone wrote, oh, Billy Yellow Nips is going to be on.
Yep. Let me say, I like it. I think it's funny. Let me say congrats on the Pats having early season success. I am from the Bay Area, and we are hoping the Giants get into the playoffs again to win their fourth even-yeared World Series in a row. The Giants, okay, I see the baseball. Well, this is an old one. They're knocked out of the playoffs. Recently, I was traveling through Colombia with my girlfriend. We were in the airport when we randomly saw a woman breastfeeding her baby just out in the open in one of the terminal waiting areas. What was weird is as she was doing it, she was looking around, making eye contact with everyone who was walking by, the way a dog looks around a park while it unloads a dump. My initial reaction was saying to my girlfriend, oh, man, that's gross. She is breastfeeding. Apparently, this opened the floodgates of feminism. My girlfriend responded, why is that gross? That's hypocritical. You men love to see boobs, but when it's for nature's purpose, you complain. I then responded, well, the ass purpose is to shit, and men are turned on by a nice ass. Are women now going to start taking dumps publicly since that is the butt's primary purpose? That's a great fucking point.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
It's not the same at all.
What are you talking about?
Shitting in public cannot be compared to breastfeeding in public. They are not the same thing at all. That's what's called a false equivalency.
I don't know. It's both. You're excreting something from your body, and people don't want to look at it. She responded that there is an obvious difference.
Yeah.
Since then, my girlfriend has been sending me all these pro-public breastfeeding videos of moms defending the action.
You did it.
I find it amusing how women all defend it and encourage it, but they know how creepy it is, so most of them won't actually publicly breastfeed with their own kids. I explained to my girlfriend that it isn't the rack sighting that annoys us, obviously, since most of us guys enjoy a nice set. It's more just the public nature of witnessing a baby drink its dinner off its mother's udders. Yeah. He goes, I felt like a chump because I was having trouble explaining why it's not okay to publicly breastfeed. No, it's okay to do it, but like you have the right to look at it and be grossed out. Could use some ammo in this argument, and I'm interested in hearing my favorite comedian rant about this subject. I have a feeling
ammo? You just can't have a difference of opinion.
Hey, can you be an adult? Can you be an adult and let me finish reading this?
I don't understand why he's got to put it like he needs ammo in this thing. Like you just fucking disagree. It's fine.
Are you done?
Can I have some ammo so I can slap my girlfriend upside the head with some facts, man? Some male facts.
As opposed to what? Female facts?
Yeah, we're the ones doing it.
Hey.
So, and let me I'm just going to
Can I just finish the fucking thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to say right now, okay? just because you have found that there are most women who wouldn't just whip it out and breastfeed in public, and it's the same. A lot of women I know wouldn't feel comfortable doing. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing. I would want to cover myself up. But if a woman is not covered up, I support her right in doing that. So just because we wouldn't do it ourselves personally doesn't mean that we're not going to want it for other people. Shit happens. That kid's hungry. You don't always have your scarf or your cover up or whatever. And this kid is screaming and crying and you're stressed out. Here, put a tit in its mouth and so it'll be quiet and be fed and move on. It's not that big of a deal. You can avert your eyes and keep it moving. What is the problem?
No, I'm just saying it's weird to look at.
It is a little off-putting to be like, oh shit, she's breastfeeding. But like, move on, get over it. It's literally a second of your life.
Well, that's
to look,
what. Listen.
Move on.
That's what he did.
He doesn't need ammo. So then why is he writing?
Hey, take your voice down, Nia. Take your voice down. Don't act like me.
In order to come back to his girlfriend with these pearls of wisdom.
Because he's young and he thinks he's actually going to change your fucking mind. Like, because he should have just said, "Hey, fair enough. Agree to disagree." Look, all he did was he fucking looked at it and he had his natural fucking reaction, which of course feminists are going to say, no man, that's not the natural reaction. That was put into you by the fucking males that run society and boo and all that fucking shit. Like, there's shit that guys do in public, I am sure, that is totally fucking legal, that is disgusting.
Like when you're adjusting your balls?
Yeah.
Do men even realize when they're doing it? Like sometimes they're just having a conversation with you and they just like tug on their balls.
Some men know more than others, some don't. Some, more than others. But like, here's my thing. If they're going to sit there and talk about man spreading, like the way we sit on trains, but you can fucking whip your titty out and we're supposed to be like, hey, blah, blah, we can't have a comment on that. You guys are just so fucking, and when I say you guys, I mean feminists. Like, you guys are just so fucking like looking at shit just one fucking way that it's I don't know, like it gets, you're doing that classic fucking thing where it starts off, it's a good cause, and then by the end of it, you come out the other side. You're not 100% what the fuck you were fighting, but you have a lot of the same elements of shouting people down, not wanting to hear the rest of the fucking guy's stuff. You want to be listened to, but this guy here is just being honest to how he feels. And it makes you feel a certain type of way, however the fuck you say it, and then you fucking shout it down. And
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough.
There you go.
And you're right. I did shout it down, and I did like cut it off because I was annoyed by it. But I think what it is that there is just this feeling of such like, I don't know. I feel like the reaction is disproportionate to what they are reacting to. I feel like a child, being fed from its mother, which is a very natural thing, and the reaction that some men have to it is so disproportionate. It's like, it's ridiculous.
What is the reaction?
To the point, the reaction is that he's comparing it to shitting in public. That to me is disproportionate to a child feeding off its mother. Really?
To me,
you think it's like shitting in public?
I thought
really?
It was, no, he doesn't think that was a clever fucking comeback to what she said.
It's not that clever.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's dumb.
That just means you don't have a good comeback for. Come on, you guys. Why? You know what? I'll tell you, nothing like a fucking feminist to come along and suck the laughter out of the room.
He was the one asking for ammo about how to deal with this fact that his girlfriend probably when she
Jesus Christ, we did another hour since I turned this fucking thing on. This is like a fucking 2-hour podcast. This is like the longest one ever.
Oh no, that's not good. That's too long, right? People don't want it to be that long.
Yeah, it's probably too long. Anyways, Nia, the end of the day, okay, people have a right to fucking react.
They certainly do.
They do. Like, they look at something, they're like, ugh, okay? The same fucking, like, you're not allowed, with all of that type of shit that falls on the other side of the fence, you're not allowed to have your natural reaction to it. It's automatically considered that there's something fucking wrong with you and something like that. Dude, there's a lot of fucking, like, here's another thing too. Like, there's also teenage kids walking around and all of that type of shit, and you're whipping your fucking titty out. You can't walk around topless. It's
Right.
considered indecent exposure
Right.
in this fucking country.
Right.
Okay? There's kids walking around, blah, 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 blah. You're pulling out a fucking titty, and then you take a little mini-me of you and you stick it on the end of it.
But
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not-
there's something like very alien about it.
But I'm not
For guys,
taking-
it's just weird.
I know, but the thing is,
And we have a right to feel that way. I'm not saying we're right in
But
what we're
nobody
thinking.
says shit on Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras, and that's not as natural as it is to feed a child. Not to me.
What do you mean nobody says shit?
Nobody says shit on Bourbon Street and Mardi Gras when girls are flashing their tits for some like 2-cent plastic beads made in China. Then it's all good. Then it's like shots for everybody.
No, but that's
someone
what-
is-
it's like-
someone's feeding their
Yeah,
child
but that's not
at the
legal.
goddamn airport.
It's not legal.
But you don't see men being like, "Can you believe the way she just like they're into it?" But a woman is feeding her child at the airport, and all of a sudden it's like shitting in public.
No, because all of a
That
sudden,
is
because
disproportionate.
I can't even fucking give. I got such a great example, but I can't fucking say it.
Why not?
Yeah, you're looking at the breast, and when they're just shaking their tits or whatever, it's like, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden, there's a baby eating off of it. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? To people who don't have babies, it's weird. It freaks you out. Like, oh yeah, that's right. They also do that. And it's also kind of fucking weird. You're just sitting there eating a
is that my
sandwich,
problem?
and then you look down the thing. I know, Nia. I know. The whole fucking world needs to just be like, oh, okay, fuck all our feelings. Like that's how this feminist shit is going, where it's just your guy's side is 100% right. The way you see shit is 100% right. And a lot of times, most of the shit you're bitching about, guys had wrong, and I agree with it. But this whole fucking thing that men cannot have fucking opinions. You guys can tell us how to sit down on a fucking subway, but we can't have a fucking reaction to... Look, I don't give a fuck if a woman breastfeeds. I don't. But like when I see some guy who has a reaction to it, and then he gets yelled at like he wants women not to be able to vote anymore, I just think it's a bit of a fucking overreaction.
I just think that it's interesting that there are certain men who are more comfortable with seeing breasts sexualized than they are for what they are.
Stop saying
intended for.
sexualized like they're being exploited.
They are more accepting of seeing a woman's breast being used in a sexual manner than they are for like the purpose of what breasts are for, which is like basically to feed children.
That's not all they're
because
for.
otherwise they're
That's
just
not all
like
they're for.
Fat, like fat deposits.
No, that's not all they're for.
What do you mean that's not all they're for?
It's for the survival of mankind in that nice Iraq attracted a fucking male, and he comes over and he bangs you, and then when you guys die, there's still other people. There's also that.
So, in other words, for like procreation.
Listen, there's no way to win this fucking argument because women want to be attractive. You want attention,
Yeah.
but you want it when you want it how you want it, and guys have to know exactly when that is and when it isn't. And if they don't fucking guess right, it's like the end of a Tom Cruise movie when he's trying to clip which fucking wire, one's going to blow it up, the other isn't. And if you don't 100% know when that fucking thing is, then you are like, I don't know what, you're the worst fucking person on the planet.
So what are you saying? Just shut up and take it, however you get it?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Why do you have to go to that level of extreme?
But and your Tom Cruise analogy, like the red wire or the blue wire, is not extreme?
No, I'm saying it's just like no matter what the fuck we do, we're wrong. It's like you want to fucking put on a fucking push-up bra and have your tits in everybody's fucking face. So, ladies, we're not paying for drinks tonight, right? Your fucking little skirt barely covering your fucking hoo-ha, okay? And then, all of a sudden, in a blink of a fucking eye, is what the fuck are you looking at? I'm talking about that shit, and you know that shit. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but I don't know what that has to do with breastfeeding and any of that kind of stuff. Because that's not what we're talking about.
Well, you let it into the whole thing, like, you know, you look at like sexualized breasts, where it always comes steering around to somehow
that
men
is more acceptable than a child being fed off of like the breast, and I don't understand why that is. Why that's more comfortable?
Because you're not a man.
To be like,
you're not a man.
Well, then fine, maybe that's what it is. But like, that's something that I feel like people need to get over. I would not breastfeed in public without being covered. But if a woman needs to do it, I get it. and it shouldn't.
I think people can just
anybody.
think what they think. I think people can just think what they think.
I think people
I don't feel that the way I look at
work on
shit,
the way that they think and progress a little bit. That's how we get to find a little bit more understanding between the sexes, so we don't have the same
but you know how that works though?
every year. It's
But
like the
you know
same
how that
fucking
works?
argument. Like we're not getting anywhere. I don't understand.
all right, but you know how, because you know how that works, that progression thing works? The only way there's progression in it is if men see the world the way women want them to see the world. That is the so-called progression between the sexes right now. That's what's fucking annoying, because all of my shit is just considered ignorant and not valid, and I'm a caveman. And all of your shit is applause break talk show shit. 100%. And women can literally do exactly to men what the fuck they don't want done to them in different ways. And it's just, and it always, if a guy gets completely fucked over by a woman, what do they say? Well, he picked her, shouldn't have married her. You know what I mean? You guys aren't necessarily held accountable for your actions when you pick a bad dude. If you pick a bad guy and he's a fucking piece of shit, then it's, not only not your fault, it's the guy's fault, and it's all men's. And then all men have to sit down and listen to a fucking lecture or read a sign on a fucking subway like we're all walking around dragging women down the street by the fucking hair. But there's no signs on the subway or anywhere else about the fucked up behavior that a lot of women display with men.
Okay.
So
that I can accept that.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So this is another fucking thing where it's like, your guy's reaction literally to how men sit on the fucking subway is 100% validated. I can't be like, listen, I got balls. I don't want to smash them between my thighs. Fucking get over it. I don't have that option. You can be like, well, fuck you. I got to breastfeed my kid. Get over it. The way you look at it is fucked up. But our whole shit is we have to be like, oh, really? Is this issue 9,863 of this fucking month that bothers you? Like you guys are these faultless fucking human beings. Like I said in here, most of that feminist shit, I fucking agree with it. But like, it's just every fucking day now. Every day now, there's some new fucking thing. It's a fucking lecture. It's seeped into the comedy clubs. Everything is just so fucking precious now. It's stupid.
Well, I know political correctness is like across the board is like can be.
I'm going to have to edit out like 9 hours of this shit.
The enemy of like creativity and stuff like that. I definitely agree with that.
It's childish.
But I just feel like when it comes,
political correctness is yet another thing. Its heart was in the right place, but it solves absolutely nothing.
Right. No, I understand that. But
all you did was you gave truly horrible people a roadmap of words where they can navigate from one side of the river to the other and still have their fucking job. But what's in their heart is still in their fucking heart. But they can say Native American, African American, whatever the fuck you're supposed to say, post person, milk person.
It's just fucking annoying to be like, hey, give me some ammo so I can tell my girlfriend why women shouldn't breastfeed in public. Like, that just sounds like some ignorant shit to me.
It sounds to me like he's losing the argument, and she's probably affecting the mood of the fucking... He's too dumb to just let it go because he's young. That's what he's doing. And I imagine right now that she's probably using sex, the lack of sex or whatever, to now punish him. And now he's walking around like a fucking little puppy that got slapped on the snout with a fucking newspaper. Like a lot of guys in relationships.
There are some people that are just modest about that kind of stuff. I had a friend over not too long ago, and she brought her 6-month-old with her, and she had to breastfeed him. And when he was off the thing, when he would drink some, and then he'd be sort of like looking around, she was like covering her boob, and it was just her and I in there. And there was a part of me that wanted to be like, you don't have to like cover your breasts in front of me, but that was a natural reaction.
I'm not arguing his thing. I don't give a shit if women breastfeed in public.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying that there are women who are... And I'm sure the reason why she was looking around like, a dog taking a shit is because she's thinking, oh, God, who's going to judge me? Who's going to judge me? When she should, in an ideal, perfect world, just be there with her baby,
what if she gets
bonding,
off on it?
Feeding, and then just
Why is she a Satanist? See how you just said that? Oh, my God, he's going to judge me. She lives
No, because she was saying he was saying that she was looking around like
but she lives in Colombia. She lives in Colombia. Who knows what the culture is down there, what the opinion is? I don't know shit about Colombia, do you?
No.
Yeah, would you watch Narcos and all of a sudden you know what these fucking people are thinking?
No,
I would never try to speak for
no
Colombians.
idea.
I have no fucking idea what they think.
No, I have no
it
idea.
just might not be that. Might be totally fucking normal, and she was just
probably
people
isn't.
watching, or she might have been a freak and she was trying to see if anybody, she's a little exhibitionist. Who knows what the fuck she was thinking?
She was probably like, oh, Jesus Christ, for people looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm breastfeeding without a cover. She's probably really like having some sort of anxiety about it, I bet.
It's probably socially acceptable. That's what I would guess. So she's just fucking looking around going, oh, that guy, yeah.
Right? She's just looking around like normal.
When's my
she
flight
wasn't
leaving?
thinking anything.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we got to end this fucking thing. This is like
Okay.
2 podcasts. All right. Sorry, guys. I know this was really long, but we hadn't seen each other for a while. We like to talk. All right.
That's right.
Go fuck yourselves. I'll see you on Thursday.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Anything Better podcast show, NFL edition, going into week number, oh my God, is this week number, we're going into week number 8? Is that right, Andrew? Is that right? We're going into week number 8? Yes, we're going into week number 8. That's what it is. Holy shit. Guys, as you could see, I am not sitting here with my partner, Bill Burr, on the show because Bill is in Paris, France. But don't worry, because Bill's picks will be on the show. You'll even see and hear from Bill from Paris, France on the show. It's just he can't be with us today. But we have a great show. Of course, we got the injury report. We got Jake the Snake here. We got the Greek Freak, a.k.a. the Beverly Hills Kid. Andrew Themlis is here. But first, before we get into this week's show, we have to shout out our sponsor. It's the BetMGM sponsor, everybody. BetMGM is offering $1,500 in bets to get your season going. How do you get this offer? It's 4 easy steps. You download the BetMGM Sportsbook app to your device and you use the code, our code. It's BURR. That's Burr. Very simple. You sign up and you deposit at least $10 into your BetMGM account. Jesus. Of course. I'm going to start that part over. You sign up. These people are trying to sell me fucking solar panels, and I led them on. This is what happened. These people tried to sell me solar panels. I led them on and going, oh, yeah, I know. Well, I could save 50%. And then the guy keeps calling every day around this time. So I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get back to the sponsor. You sign up, you deposit at least $10 into the BetMGM Sportsbook account. Place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. If the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once the initial wager is settled. We also have the first touchdown offer, which is still going on. It's simply place your prop bet on the player to score the first touchdown in any NFL game. If that player does not score the first touchdown in any game, but in fact scores the second touchdown in any game, you'll get your stake back in cash. There you go, guys. All right, so here we are. Andrew Themlis is here, and we're going to get into these picks. We have to talk about this week, though, okay? We have to talk about this week because everybody was telling me the Buccaneers were going to beat the Ravens, and I said, not so fast. I didn't take the Ravens, but I was like, let's not get crazy, and I think the Ravens have now become one of the 2 teams that I think can take out the Chiefs in the AFC. I don't know. I also want to apologize. Not apologize. Listen, it's my fucking show. I don't apologize to anybody, but I also want to tell people I was wrong about the Eagles. I still don't know if the Eagles are at the level. The Eagles are not at the level of the Lions and those teams, but I said that the Eagles weren't that good. And you know what? They went into my New York Giants MetLife Stadium and they absolutely put a beat down on them. Okay. Saquon Barkley had the game that Giants fans had nightmares about. He actually had that game. Very hard to watch, very hard to accept. I don't hate the guy. I understand what happened, but dude, it was really tough to watch the kid run for 176, a touchdown. He could have even went for more. They benched him late in the game because it was just done horrible. Their defense looked good. Our offensive line looked terrible. So I was wrong about that. Also, the Jets, I thought the Jets were going to, I thought it was time. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers still not playing great. So I was wrong about those two. And the other one that I do have to say is the Steelers. I said it was the only thing they had was the coach. You know what? They had the defense. And so look, I'm glad I only touched one of those. Actually, no, I touched both of those games, and those are my 2 losses. And in fact, it would have been my 4th week in a row. I know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Would have been my 4th week in a row, 3-1. And instead, the Jets go into Pittsburgh. They lose. And I end up going 2-2, which is not a losing record by any stretch. I believe now I am 13-15, 2 games back. I do not know what Bill did. We will get into that. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on this week in the NFL. There's a lot of good games. Jake the Snake, I got to bring you in here for some injury reports, some things that I didn't know. We got some things going on, right? What's cooking?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I'll start off with it's mainly at receiver, but I'll start off with a quarterback. Jane Daniels got hurt against the Panthers last week, and we're not sure if he's going to play against the Bears this week. He didn't practice yesterday, but the coach thinks he's going to be back out there, so that's something to monitor. The line for that is moved to the Bears opened as underdogs, and they're now favored. So Vegas is prepared for him not to play, but
And who's Washington's backup?
Mariota. He played the second half.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He played. That's right. He didn't play too bad.
No, he looked good. He looked good. I was nervous because I was on the Commanders, but he ended up playing lights out, so it worked out. But yeah, so the main injuries are at receiver. Not only did Tampa Bay get blown out by the Ravens, they lost Godwin for the season, and Mike Evans is going to be out for an extended period of time as well. So just adding insult to injury there. That I know Bill mentioned that the line flipped because it's because of those 2 injuries.
And I think those 2 injuries, if I'm right here, I think that I heard this, that those injuries came late in the game. Both of those injuries came late in the game, dude. And those are 2 of their biggest stars.
Yeah, the Godwin one especially, they were down by a lot. So, that was tough to see. He got carted off. And, yeah, it's hard to see someone season in like that. But there is some positive injury news. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are expected to play tonight against the Vikings. They've been out since week 1 and 2 of the season. So it's good. It's going to be exciting to have both them back and see if that Rams offense can kind of salvage what's left of their season. The Cooper Kupp is in trade rumors. So we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, the Chiefs traded for DeAndre Hopkins yesterday.
Saw that. Yeah. Only the leave it to the Chiefs, those sneaky Chiefs, to get in at the last minute and get a really good player. I mean, the Chiefs have ways to find these veterans. They're gonna, he's gonna have a nice little playoff moment. And I'll be honest with you, I hate to say this on the show. But I visualize them winning their 3rd Super Bowl and them going up to DeAndre Hopkins going, "We're so glad he got his. D-Hop finally got his. We're so glad." I can see that stupid post-game celebration, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. The Chiefs have ways to do it, and I think that's a big pickup for them. The Rams tonight is interesting because I'd like to see them fully healthy. I also heard rumors, don't know if this is true, that Daniel Jones of the New York Giants is in a trade package to get Matthew Stafford. That's kind of been going on. You don't know if that's going to happen. I think that what I heard was that they didn't know if they needed or wanted Daniel Jones in the package, and the Giants kind of, if they did do it, would do that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know,
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that the Stafford stuff, I think that's all bullshit.
You think he's staying in Los Angeles?
Yeah, there's literally no. I don't even really know what the ridiculous argument for the Rams trading Stafford is. I can't even think of a stupid argument.
They would have to be getting some 1st-round picks back.
I think the Rams know the season is. I think the Rams know that they're not really going to win a Super Bowl this year, and I think that I think that the fact that Cooper Kupp is on the market, I think we're looking at a rebuild. I think that they also know Stafford is older, so I think that they're kind of like a garage sale maybe right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I did, and obviously jump in. I mean, does anybody really think that the season is because because of Stafford. I mean, obviously with all the injuries they had, and
No.
get to the picks this week is, Cooper Kupp's coming back and there's a lot of promise there. But yeah, no, I mean, for them to get rid of Stafford would be ridiculous. And like you said, it's a rebuilding year. But I mean, first off, look at the quarterback market. Look at what young quarterbacks are doing. You can't be looking around the league going, I mean, put it this way. If you had a choice between Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco, who would you put in? I mean, you might just go with Flacco.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
It's like,
I don't know. I mean, Winston.
I'm
I
not
don't
talking
know.
about a full contract, but let's be honest. Nobody's happy with the scene. Quarterback.
I don't think that they would get rid of Stafford thinking he's the problem. I don't think they would get rid of Stafford thinking he's the problem. I think if they did unload Stafford or Kupp, it's just because they're looking at the future and they want to dump age and money. That's what I think.
Yeah, but then you're gambling because who knows? Who knows what you get?
I think Kupp is more likely going to be the casualty there, especially you see all these quote unquote aging receivers around, the same age as Kupp have been traded around similar money. And I think teams are going to get a little desperate, like maybe the Chargers. You see that they didn't really have any receivers on Monday, or the Steelers. Maybe they think, oh, we can add Kupp and pair him with Pickens and really be special offensively. So I think teams are going to start getting aggressive before the deadline for Kupp.
Or the Giants. Maybe the Giants. Maybe the Giants get rid of Wan'Dale Robinson for all these drops when we get Cooper Kupp in there on the other side of Neighbors. Who knows?
Kupp and Neighbors will be nice.
Oh, dude, Kupp and Neighbors would be. How old is Kupp? He's not that old, right?
Like early 30s. I mean, but the NFL, all these NFL owners think, they say they think Amari Cooper's old. They think Hopkins
31.
is old.
31.
Yeah. See, once an offensive weapon in the NFL hits 30, that's kind of when, like, even if they got a couple years left, that's kind of when it's trade time because they're going, let's go and get somebody in their mid-20s. I get it. I think the Commanders Bears is one of the most interesting games this week. I do. I think because if Daniels, you rush him back? You don't want to rush him back. They are playing in Washington. That's a game. Part of me wants to go, let's take the Commanders getting points. But the other part of me is like, you know what, dude, just stay away. It's 2.5. It stayed 2.5, right?
Well, yeah. So it was funny because I was going to, not to spoil all the picks here, but I was going to take the Bears even when it opened as underdogs. And I still like it now as them favorites. I hope Daniels plays because we can see that Daniels Caleb matchup because they went 1-2 in the draft, so that'd be one of the funner games of the week. But I just think the Bears defense is what makes a difference here. They have a really strong defense, and Washington does not, and I think that ultimately is going to win the game.
All right, yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of cool, interesting picks here, and I see the weird thing is this is one of the weeks where you got 3 or 4 giant lines. You got 11, you got 10, you got 9, whatever it is. And then you also have a bunch of 3s and 2s. It's a fun week. I'm ready to get into these picks here.
Want to take a look at last week real quick?
Yes, let's look at last week. So last week, I don't know what Bill did last week. What did Bill do last week?
1-3.
1-3. I went 2-2, which brings me to 13 and 15. I am 13.
You're right there, Paul.
What's that?
You're right there, Paul.
Right there, hanging. We're hanging around right middle of the season, almost hanging around. But look, a lot of work to do. So it can go any way. We gotta stay in this thing. And all right. So look and listen. If Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams together could have fucking done anything, I'm above the book. That's how quick this is. But listen, woulda, coulda, shoulda, maybe, none of that shit matters. I think that teams are starting to become who they are. I think the Baltimore Ravens are who they are. I really believe that. Unfortunately, I hate to say this because now I said this about the Eagles. People get mad at that. I'm going to say this about the Niners. The Niners with Debo. And by the way, man, the Niners are great people. Like I met them, the owners. They're such a great organization, dude.
Good guys.
I have friends that are like mutual friends that are close with George Kittle. Said he's like the coolest dude. He's hurt. Debo's hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, to do what they've done, to get back again, it's so exhausting, and to deal with everything they're dealing with, I just think it's tough. I just really think the Lions right now, I think the Lions in the NFC, Packers in the NFC are really the teams. And then I do think Texans, Ravens are the only two. I think the Texans and the Ravens right now, I don't want to shit on Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh and Buffalo are hanging back there. But as far as getting after the Chiefs, let's be honest, dude. Can we be honest? As much as we want to beat around the bush, the Chiefs are the best team in the league. They just, even though the games are close and everybody goes, oh, he gets calls, they find ways to win the game. And that's what championship teams do. And now they added DeAndre Hopkins. So it's who can pick off the Chiefs. Crazy. Can Lamar pick off the Chiefs? Can the Ravens do it? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that would be an epic AFC championship. I'm ready to
Ravens, get in. Zay Flowers, just noting that Zay Flowers, I think he's got like a high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain, but he didn't practice. Today's Thursday. He didn't practice yesterday. So that going into this week, especially looking at them against the Browns, I was telling Jake, this is basically the Browns Super Bowl. This is if you're the Browns, because you have nothing else this season to really be looking at. So Jameis Winston coming in the game, Ravens on a short week. That's a division rivalry. So we can roll Bill's first pick right now. Cut to that, and
we're gonna give Bill first pick from Paris, France, and then I'll get into mine.
Ah ouais, bonjour Paul, salut Andrew, au revoir Jake, les serpents. What's up everybody? I am à Paris. And here are my picks for the week. So I can't be on the podcast because, because I'm in fucking Paris. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take the Jets. Fucking laying 7 going into New England. We are a fucking mess. And our coach said we're a soft team. And I know that should inspire them. And everybody's going to be booing Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know, until they cover a fucking spread. I mean, they've been winning for me every week. It's the only way I can handle what the Patriots are doing this year. Oh, here's a little travel tip for you. You see that green thing up there? All you Americans, that's not a weed store. That's a pharmacy.
And we're back. Good
and
pick,
Bill picks
Bill.
The Jets.
I like that pick. Well, look, here's why I like the pick. Because it really is now or never for the Jets. The Jets are not going to be able to go 2-6. You got to make it 3-5 and get on course right now, because if you go 2-6, it might be a wrap. So I like that pick. Okay. With my first pick of the 2024 Week 8, Paul Verzi selects. No, I think what I'm going to do with this pick, the number is high, and I just talked about him. I hate to do, no, I'm going to change. Guys, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons -2.5 versus an unfortunately banged up Buccaneers team. No Chris Godwin, no Mike Evans. Baker did not look good. I think the Falcons will see some things that they can do without those threats in the air. And it's only 2.5, which means if the Falcons win by 3, I'm going to take that pick. I think I would never take the pick if the injuries didn't happen. And I like to say this too about this pick. I don't really like to bet on teams or pick teams based on other teams' injuries. It's not something I usually do, but this is so significant. This is so significant with those two that I have to do it. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons over the Buccaneers, given 2.5 points.
All right, I'm also going to take the Panthers getting 9 points against the Broncos going into Denver. Both those teams are la petite voiture. C'est très mignon. Ouais. I've been doing this all week, just annoying French people.
Bill taking the hapless, as he says, Carolina Panthers getting 9 points versus the Broncos. That's a high line.
10. Updated.
Oh, went to 10.
When Bill picked it, it was 9.5.
But Bill gets that. Bill gets that, right?
Well, we're gonna give him the 10 since it goes in his favor, and we always do it whatever the odds are Thursday when we record. So we'll give him the 10. We'll give him the 10.
So he
it
gets
went in
okay,
the direction. If it went the other way, maybe he would have.
He'll need all the points with that team. So
Yeah,
definitely.
listen, we'll give him what. Yeah, we'll give him what he could get with that team. Okay, with my second pick, man, I'm up in the air with this, man. I want to take the Browns and Winston because I have a feeling Winston is going to play good. I don't know why. He's actually a decent NFL quarterback, as crazy as it is to say. And it is 9 points, but the way the Ravens are flying right now, I can see that game literally being 31-10. So I'm just going to lay off that one. All right. Of course, my eyes go down and see the Giants. I'm not going to do that to myself again. Okay. I'm not going to do that to myself again. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders, dude. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders, getting 2.5 at home. I don't know if Daniels is going to play. Mariota looked good. And the line it's that line where if you had to win by 3, I don't know if I'd take the game. The fact that they're getting 2.5, I don't know. I've rode with them all year. It's been good for me. I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders. Now, is Daniels definitely out?
It's unclear because the coach was like, oh, he might still play, but he just hasn't practiced so far. So it's just unclear if he's going to play. I'd say it's 50-50.
I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to take the
risk.
It's a
rib injury. Just
what's
for
that?
It's a rib injury for context, right, Jake?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
quarterbacks have played through that before, so it's not impossible.
Oh no, I know, but I just as far as like just Paul, if you're handicapping him on his feet or him putting the ball in the spot,
it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games where he's going to have to deal with pain or not. It's a rib injury is something that it only heals with rest, but I've seen guys play with it and be in pain. I look, I know that this is a game where it really is a coin toss. I'm just going to go with the home team, and I'm going to see. And I don't think Marcus Mariota is a scrub, so I'm going to take the Commanders to get in the points with the Bears at home. Bill will go to his third pick now. Let's get into Bill's third pick.
I'm going to take the fucking Seattle Seahawks getting 9. That's almost double digits. Why not? Pourquoi pas?
All right. There you go. Bill takes the Seattle. So Bill is, you know what? Bill always picks. It's funny. We've been doing this show for a few years, and there are certain teams that we just kind of migrate to. And Seattle is always one of Bill's. Green Bay is kind of always one of mine. Oh my God, that fucking Titans Lions line is ridiculously high. I mean, you're starting the game as an NFL team with 11.5 points, and I'm still scared of it. That's how bad the Titans are, and that's how good the Lions are, that I don't even want to fucking touch that. Yeah, how nuts is that? That any other game, you'd be like, oh my God. All right. This is where it gets tricky. Okay, and here's my philosophy. Tonight's game is an interesting game, and here's why. Okay, Vikings just lost their first game in not good fashion either. They were winning 10-0, and then all of a sudden the Lions figured something out, and they beat them up pretty good. And Sam Darnold was throwing picks and doing things. The Rams have Kupp back tonight. They got the other kid. What's the other kid?
Puka Nacua.
They got Nakua. They got Kupp. The Vikings are either going to have a big bounce back game or they're going to have the 2 losses in a row, and ESPN and everyone's going, did people figure out the Vikings? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Now, another game. Tua Tagovailoa, is he playing this week?
He is. I think that's why the Miami Dolphins are favored as well. And that line keeps going up.
I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take I'm going to take, you know what? What's it called? The Marvel characters all come back. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I tried to do the Disney thing.
Avengers,
Now I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do the superhero thing. I'm just saying the captain of their team, the leader of their team is back. I think that they're going to be psyched that he's back and feel like they can get on track. I don't like the half a point at all. But I'm going to just say at home, the Dolphins find a way to win the game, maybe even win the game big. Is Waddle and Tyreek Hill are both in?
Waddle's questionable, but I would expect him to play. Tyreek will be in.
I'm going to take the Dolphins with their quarterback back, rallying around him, -3.5 in South Florida. There's my third pick.
All right. Solid.
What do you got, Bill? What do you got from Paris, Bill?
Then I'm going to take the 49ers laying 4 against the Cowboys. They're at home. I think they lost to Kansas City. I traveled last week on Sunday. And then the last one is, who the hell was it? It was the Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, the 49ers. God damn it. Who else was I taking? Do you know, Monsieur? All right, those are my 4. Paul, I tried to stay out of your lane. I didn't take any of the teams that you've been going with. Okay, here's my thing. The trap game for the week, I feel, is whatever's going on with that. I don't like that Falcons Tampa game. I don't like that at all. Tampa's just been kicking everybody's fucking ass, and all of a sudden they're underdogs against the Falcons. Jake the Snake, is somebody hurt?
Oh, Bill is going with the banged up. What's the line on that game? 4?
4. Primetime Billy.
This is the Cowboys season right here, right now. The Cowboy, things are bad when the Cowboy fans are outside in the parking lot yelling and throwing things at the best player on defense. Did you see that? There was a dude in the parking lot, and Parsons was coming out. And Parsons, the guy's just throwing stuff, going, "You suck!" And Parsons yelling, "We're angry too." It's a mess in Dallas, dude. That's
when your owner's calling into radio stations, not just once, but twice.
Right. Yeah, that's true. When the owner is yelling at a radio station, dude, it's not good.
Yeah. Don't tell me to do my job. Crazy.
I've never on this show. Okay. This could be history here. Never in the 3.5 seasons of doing this show on BetMGM have I picked against my New York Giants. I don't think I have. I don't think I could bring myself to do it.
Yeah, I don't think you did either.
No. If anything, I picked them when they were going to lose. And I'm going to tell you what, fellas. I'm not going to do it now either. Okay? I'm not going to do it now. Part of me is going, I kind of like the Giants getting 6.5. I know that sounds nuts, but I'm not going to touch it. And this is where I have a problem because I'm having a hard time with this 4th and final pick.
Paul, just take the Giants money line. Just make a point, Paul. Just make a point to everybody.
What did the Jags lose last week?
No, they played New England in London.
They won.
Yeah, they killed them.
I'm trying to remember what the score was, but yeah.
That's Bill's strategy, is fade the Patriots every week, and it's worked out so far.
Yeah, it was 32-16.
Oof. Jeez.
Yeah.
32-16, Jags won?
I went 4-0 last week, Paul, just picking obvious teams that are going to lose. I was like, I just picked against after going 1-3 the week before. I was like, you know what? The Saints are going to lose. The Patriots are going to lose. The Falcons are going to lose. Maybe not that obvious. And then the Panthers. The Eagles against the Giants.
Yeah.
So,
it all seems obvious in hindsight for sure.
All seems obvious. Well, that's what I needed. I needed it obvious after trying to get cute the week before, picking the fucking Broncos.
Should I go head to head with him with that?
I kind of see what you're saying, Paul, because the Cowboys season is definitely on the line, and the Niners are really banged up. But it's also really hard to pick the Cowboys because of their quarterback. So that's my.
I think I beat Bill on the first head to head we did this year. I think that was week 1. I don't know. It was early. I think I'm going to go head to head with him here, and I think I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. Are the Buffalo Bills coming off a bye week?
No, they played Tennessee. Well, I guess sort of a bye week then, but they played Tennessee.
They started that game down too.
I know, that was funny.
What came down?
They started the game behind, and everybody was looking at the score, going, "Oh my God, is this really happening?" But they ended up crushing them.
Yeah,
You gonna go
I
with the
mean,
Bills,
I'm
Paul?
sorry that I'm taking so long. This is really tough, man, because the 4.5 with the Jags, I don't like. There's these lines are like right perfect, of course, and then it just comes down to, are the Buffalo Bills a better team than are the Buffalo Bills a better team than the Seahawks? And they also have Amari Cooper right now, right?
Yep.
I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills -3. I think they have a better team. I think they probably don't like the start they got off to against Tennessee last week. So they're probably going to try to get after the Seahawks fast. And here's the deal. Do you like Josh Allen more than you like Geno Smith? Although Geno Smith is good, the answer to that question is yes. So I am going to go head-to-head with my partner here on the show, and I am going to take the Buffalo Bills for my fourth and final pick, -3, to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the fake noise stadium.
I forgot about that.
What'd you say?
I forgot about that whole scandal. That's funny, but you bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know, but so those are my picks. Well, let me just get this straight. What I got the Dolphins, I have the Buffalo Bills, I have the Atlanta Falcons, and I have
The Commanders.
And I have the Commanders over the Bears getting points. All right, you know what? I'm shaky on one, maybe two. The other two I think I like, so we'll see what happens. You never know, man. I'm 2 games back. You never know what happens. And dude, tonight's game is going to be a good one. I wish we could have done something as a show with tonight's game. But let's get into the Monday night special.
Well, if anybody's looking at props on on tonight's game, I would go Cooper Kupp over. I would just take him at every level. He's gonna. I said the line was. I think it was 10 on receptions. I mean,
for receptions. Well, that's a lot of receptions, but I see.
No, I don't think he's going to get 10 receptions.
I would look at yardage, like you were saying, though. I think.
Well, I like yardage, obviously, but I'm saying, and you can look at receptions too, because he's going to be going to what else is he?
But I think also, I don't know if a coach wants to work a kid like that right when he gets back. I don't know though. You never know. But like, I know like Malik Neighbors, when Malik Neighbors came back, he was he ended up with like 4 catches for like 41 yards or whatever, after getting like 13, 14 targets at the beginning of the season, but you never know. But here's the thing. Kupp opens it up for the other guy too, and vice versa. So, if there was like a way you could do like,
it was 6.5, not 10.
Oh, okay. That's a better
6.5. Yeah.
6.5. Yeah. Cause the other kid's going to eat too, but let's get into the Monday night special. This week's Monday night special. We have don't ever forget this. Listen to me. Listen, I know we're doing bad. I got my Eli bobblehead, my 2-ring Eli bobblehead, and this and that. My New York Football Giants, they were in some games. Their record should be better, but I know coulda, woulda, shoulda, and they looked god awful. Without Andrew Thomas at left tackle, the New York Giants could not block anybody. It's amazing how that left side completely collapsed on Jones with one guy out. But that tells you if one guy's going to do that, it means you don't have the personnel. It's just because you got to get it. You got to be able to put another guy in there to pick up the slack. Just didn't do it. But I like the Giants with the points. Do I think the Giants are going to win the game in Pittsburgh? Gun to my head, no. Do I think the Giants could lose the game by 5-3? Yes. But let's have fun with it. Let's have fun with it. Let's do a parlay without picking the game. Can we do that?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What
You don't want
do
to
you
do
think of Russell
totals.
Wilson?
Totals are 36.5. It's 36.5. I mean, that you have no idea what you're doing there. I mean, if the Steelers put up points, if Russell Wilson can move the ball, then
will BetMGM allow us? Will BetMGM
we can do whatever we want?
All right,
because this year
That seems
everybody's
like an under,
building these
Andrew.
parlays a la carte, however they want.
All right, so we'll put together an a la carte thing. I say the New York Giants. I mean, I want to. We're the number one defensive line sacks wise in the league. I think we have 29 or 30 something sacks in the league. Our defensive line can stop Russell Wilson because I don't think he runs the way he used to run. I think that's a fair statement.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think if Russell Wilson, they even said last week, if he was able to run the way he could run, he had some opportunities. Man, can we do giant sacks? Can we do like or is sacks an available thing? Because I think they'll do 3 or more. I think they'll do 3 or more. But if we can't do that, we don't have to do that.
I think what you're describing is definitely probably an under if it's 36.5, because the Steelers defense is going to get to Daniel Jones throughout the game. And if you think the Giants defense is going to slow down the Steelers, maybe it's like a 24 to 10 kind of game. I don't know, or something like that. Or maybe the Giants cover and it's like a little bit less, like a 17-13 type of game. If you think the Giants defense can play well.
The odds are good too. Like I could see the game 26-20. It's one of those games, I think. I think it's going to be one of those games. And listen, other than Philadelphia and the Vikings week 1, the Giants were in striking distance of every game they played. If they had a kicker, they have two more wins. And I really believe, I'm not just saying that. If the Giants have a kicker, they have 2 more wins than they have right now. I believe that.
Well, the Commanders game for sure. That is factual.
The Commanders game it never happened in history where a team had 3 touchdowns and another team had none, and the team that had none won. So definitely the Commanders, but I also think too the Cowboy game, they were right there. I don't know. This is tough. Do you want to do? By the way.
What's up?
Oh my God! How do we not?
Yeah, we almost forgot. I know where you're gonna go.
We hit the Monday Night Special 2 weeks in a row. Did you know that, Andrew? We hit we hit 3. By the way, this is going into week 8. Out of 7 weeks, we hit the Monday Night Special 3 times, and the last 2 in a row. So if you guys were rocking with us, where it's ironic that it's not up on the site, but that's what you got to do. You got to rock with us right now. I think we do this. Let's get a little crazy with this, okay? Let's get a little crazy with this. Since we did win the Monday Night Special the last 2 weeks in a row, let's take the Giants with the points. Not saying the Giants are going to win, but let's take the Giants getting 6.5. Actually, Andrew, how about this? Can we tease that to 7.5?
I was say, why don't you tease that in the total?
Yeah, I would just tease that the full 6, and then I would go plus 12. Giants plus 12.
No, it'd be plus 12.5. Same difference, I guess.
Say it again.
It'll be Giants plus 12.5.
I think it's plus
the spread's
12.
6 right now.
Because it's 6, yeah. Not.
Oh, I have 6.5.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. The updated line was 6. It moved to 6 this morning.
Oh, so that means a lot of people are taking the Giants. Okay.
That doesn't mean a lot of people are taking the Giants right now. 97% of the money line bet is on. Obviously, money line bets on
the
Seattle.
Steelers. Yeah.
But what about
the money line? That makes sense.
87% on the over.
Really?
That's a
I
lot
don't like
for
that.
the over. And then
what's the under over?
36.5. That's why Jake was saying if we just tease that up 6, you just
let's tease it down.
6.
You want to lower?
You want to lower it and then go over?
Yeah, 30 points in a hell yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah, in an NFL game, that would be a really low. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because if you get it down to 30,
it down from 36 to 30.
Right. Thursday night games can be a little trickier with that because teams are on less rest. Actually, Thursday night games or Monday night games because. Oh no, yeah, that's right. I keep thinking we're doing the Thursday night games. Sorry, guys.
Well, I'll also tell you this: there's going to be a defensive. I think there's going to be a defensive score or a big defense. This is a game where a defense is going to make a play, either get somebody pinned in the red zone. I think I like it teasing down. So let's do this. Let's take the Giants getting 12 in a 2-team tease. We'll take over 30, okay? And then should we throw one more in there? Should we say
do you want either of them to throw who do you think's more likely to turn it over in your opinion, the Steelers or the Giants? Maybe
it's just tough because both defensive lines cause so much shit. You know, it could happen. It could happen to, you know, like Dexter Lawrence or Brian Burns could, you know, knock it out of Russell's hands. The Giants' weak left side could make the Pittsburgh do it. So I think that we don't have to go turnover. Maybe we just go, who do we think is going to score? Who do we think is definitely going to score in this game?
Maybe George Pickens or Najee on offense. On defense, I don't know. It's always hard to predict if any of them are going to score on defense. Who's scored? I guess Neighbors on the Giants. You know who I like? You guys have that running back now, Tracy.
I like Tracy.
Nice
Yeah,
player.
Tracy.
Nice so
Tracy.
That could be another one.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy the third. I love that kid. Yeah, I mean, we can do. I think Neighbors is going to be the target, but so is Pickens. So we could just pick one of those. What do you think?
I like Pickens. I like Pickens a lot. Russell Wilson was throwing it at him in that last game, but that's who I would take.
Okay, look, you know what? I took the Giants getting 12. I'll do that. So let's do that. Let's do the Giants getting 12 in a tease with the over 30 in the same tease.
How about we make it easier, Paul? Maybe we do Russell Wilson or Jones to throw a touchdown. Would you rather do that? Take the odds hit?
I'd take a running back touchdown over a passing touchdown in this game. But, I mean, Russell Wilson, I think you're better off with him than Daniel Jones, especially in the red zone. But
okay, if you want to do Russell to throw one.
Yeah, well, what are the odds on that, Andrew? Maybe it's like worse than Pickens.
Yeah, it's over. Well, once you get into parlay territory, adding any bet will bring it up, but obviously not as much. So passing touchdowns, Russell Wilson over 1.5 is plus 150.
That'd be 2.
Jones, you're right. That'd be 2. Right. That's just what they're giving out. And then Daniel Jones, if you book with somebody else, you might be able to find it lower or find the option to get it.
I got it. Let's make some money for people. I got it.
Okay.
Let's make some money for people. We already did it 2 weeks in a row. Let's get crazy and fun with this one. You know, Bill's in Europe. What's that?
I'd do over a half, over at least one or over a half of an interception for both QBs. You were talking about QBs before. I would consider that. I think they're both going to throw interceptions.
Ooh.
So wait a minute. So what does that mean? So that means that either quarterback throws one?
We need both to throw one interception, which I don't see.
Daniel Jones doesn't throw. Daniel Jones doesn't. I mean, I know he did it last time.
He scrambles first. I know.
He doesn't really throw interceptions unless it's like a bad read.
He did last season.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's weird. It's like Daniel Jones is one of those where you'll know in the first quarter if he's like on, and you'll be like, oh, he's good, or he could fucking be a mess. What about if we did this? What if we pick a quarterback and a receiver? Because if they throw it to what if we did Daniel Jones to throw one to Malik Neighbors? So Malik Neighbors catches one, Daniel Jones throws one. Because that's who he's going to throw it to. Do you know what I mean? Or like Russell to Pickens. That's who he's going to throw it to. So then basically what we're doing is we got the tease, and if we hit the tease, we just need the quarterback to throw to their guy for a touchdown on Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Football, right?
Monday Night Football, yeah.
Right, it's Monday Night Football, man. These guys, does Malik Neighbors catch a touchdown on his Monday Night Football debut? I say 1,000% he does.
All right, let's roll with it. Let's just do Malik then, because then you don't have to worry. Well, I guess obviously it'd be the same. So, yeah, I'm with it. Let's roll.
Listen, we did it 3. We did it.
Yeah, you guys are hot this year, man. I love it.
We hit 3 of them, man. Last year I think we didn't hit 1, or we hit 1. So, so let's do that. Let's do Giants getting 12, over 30, Jones to throw one, Neighbors to catch one.
All right.
That's got to make somebody get $600-700, right?
Oh yeah. And what are those odds, Andrew?
Well, because I'm not in the proper state, it won't actually give me the odds. But repeat it again. I'll do the math. It's you got Daniel Jones to throw one,
Malik Neighbors to catch one,
over 30. So it's minus.
And then the Giants to cover the 12 in the teaser.
To cover the 12, that'll bring it down. It was over 30. Still doing the over 30. Daniel Jones, Malik Neighbors.
I think that over 30 is a really smart play, by the way. That was a really good way to look at that number.
Yeah, you're got to be at like at least 4-1, especially with that. Yeah.
All right, so that's a fun Monday night special. You have Bill's picks, which is the Jets, 49ers, Seahawks, and who?
Panthers.
And you have my picks, the Dolphins, Commanders, Bills, and Falcons. So there you go. Those are the picks for week 8. Bill will be back next week. And there you go. I mean, I don't know anything else we have to, actually,
I was gonna say, you got any Yankees thoughts?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do that for a second. We'll talk about the World Series for 5 minutes. Look, me and Jake the Snake were talking about it before we went, recording. I think it's such an even lineup with Ohtani, right?
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Then you have Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. We do have Glaber. I will tell you this. I think the Yankees have a tiny edge with the bats. If I'm saying this, if all is perfect in the world and everybody is hitting, I think Giancarlo Stanton makes a difference because he's just a power hitter that could just get a 3-run shot anytime. But so can Ohtani. I think Jake is right. It comes down to the bullpen. I think this is a very evenly matched World Series. I think this is probably the best World Series, best case scenario for the MLB. I think you got the West Coast, you got the East Coast, you got the Yankees, Dodgers, old rivalry. Nobody would have cared about believe it or not, nobody would have cared about Yankees, Mets, because when it was Yankees, Mets, it was a regional. People think they cared. Nobody really cared.
It was like the lowest. It's like the lowest rated World Series in history.
Yeah, you got like the West Coast, California going against the East Coast, New York. You got Ohtani, Judge, 2 sluggers. I think it's great. I think it just comes down to what you said, bullpen, starting pitching. But I will say this, Garrett Cole tomorrow night has to get game 1 for the Yankees as our ace, because I think if we lose that start and lose that game, especially not having home field, it's bad for the Yankees. The Yankees need to bring home field back, and the way to do that is obviously you got to get 1, and I think getting the first one. So it should be a great World Series. It's stress that I don't need in my life. I don't need it. The Knicks, my New York Knicks, got absolutely torched in game 1 of the ring ceremony of the Celtics. I'd never seen it. By the way, I got to talk about this for a second. They were like, "Oh, this is like a video game." No.
You're right.
Video games don't hit shots like that. I have never in my life seen a basketball team from their starters to their bench not miss 3-point field goals for 3 quarters. And the ironic part is the Celtics, they tie the NBA games with 3-pointers at 29. And then the whole fucking TD Garden is chanting 1 more 3 and they went 0 for 13 on their last 13. In the biggest 3-point game ever. It was wild. So in a weird way, they left slightly disappointed, which was the only thing that I could take because it was such a beatdown. The Knicks looked confused. They asked Josh Hart. They said to Josh Hart, they go, "Hey, man, what'd you think?" He's like, "Yo, check them for drug use, man, because I never seen some shit like that." So between the Knicks now, wanting to watch the Knicks bounce back, okay, my daughter's volleyball games, which I have to go to today, which the level of stress at that, you guys have no idea until you've been to 6th through 8th grade girl volleyball games. It's the most intense shit. I got to video it. And put it on the show because every point is a Super Bowl win and every non-point is not. And it is so intense. And now I have the Yankees going against the Dodgers and I'm going to be performing at the Stand in New York City tomorrow. And that game is going to be on in the green room. So there's stress everywhere. I just want to sit down, relax, do my shows. There's stress everywhere. Go Yankees, go Giants, go Knicks. And there you go. And I know for you, Jake, you're going for the Dodgers and the Chargers this week.
Yeah,
Andrew, you got the Celtics. At least no matter what's going on in your world, you got the Celtics, dude.
I'm enjoying. Listen, I Patriots like, yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing what's happening here. I think it'll be a whole different team in 2 years, for better or worse. Hopefully for better.
Yeah, hopefully for better.
Yeah, I mean, it can't get much worse. But no, I mean, I'm okay. Listen, I'm enjoying the NFL. I'm enjoying all these games. Every complaint about it being a wacky season. I just think it's more. All these games are just way more fun. Not making a lot of money. I went 6 for 8 in an 18 parlay going up Monday night. I thought I had that. Thought I had some money, but now nothing. Looking at first touchdown tonight, Aaron Jones. So I'm looking at tonight, but we'll
Nice.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
See what we got.
And listen, guys, if you're watching and you're taking our picks, the Anything Better show is strong right now. We are alive and well. We're coming back. We're right there. We're right there, middle of the season. We're in mid-season form.
Jake, do you want to throw out what picks you like so far this week? Jake and I usually submit our picks right after the show, but Jake, you already got yours, and we got a minute. It's all
I'm finally rounding the corner here. I was just getting killed in the first month of the season, but similar to Paulie there, I'm heating up in October. I hate to fade Paulie in October too, but I'm doing it twice, unfortunately. I got the Cardinals. I like the 3.5. I know Tua's back, but I just don't believe in Miami at the moment. And then I got the Bears. I think we discussed it a little bit earlier, but I just think their defense is really solid. And then I was surprised nobody took this team. I love the Packers this week. I think the Jaguars are hapless, as the show would say. And I think Green Bay looks really good right now, and Jordan Love has played spectacular. So I think they went cruise to that one. And then I'm riding with Paul on the Buffalo Bills. I just think I think they're going to start incorporating Amari Cooper a little more. And then Seattle looked kind of fraudulent in some of these games, but they had a nice bounce back win last week. And it's tough to win in the fake crowd in Noise Stadium, like Paul was saying, but I like Buffalo there. So those are my 4.
I like those. I like those. And look, Miami's
Walker's the only thing that gets in the way of the Bills' a complete blowout. Kenneth Walker's just been pounding right through lines. So, but I think
look,
you guys are on something.
I think Miami is a coin toss. I think Tua can come out and light it up and be great, and all of a sudden Miami's back. Or you go, oh shit, and you worry about the kid's health. You hope the kid doesn't take a hit. But he wouldn't be in an NFL game if his head wasn't, if they didn't, feel like. I just hope that for the love of God, the kid doesn't get another concussion. And if he does, it's in like 5 years. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want the kid to get another one, because that's another one for him. It would have to be people that love him to sit down and go, hey, dude, let's get a couple dealerships in Miami and let's end this thing.
Yeah, I can't believe he's not wearing the Guardian cap either. I was going to go with Tampa, but those injuries, like we talked about, took me off of it, and so I had to find a new 4th team. I really liked Tampa before the injuries because I don't buy Atlanta, but now that like we talked about with those injuries,
I feel like my picks could go. I don't like these weeks, and I don't like to say this, but I feel like my picks could go 4-0, 0-4. But listen, it's the NFL, dude. You never know. You could go 2-2, 1-3, whatever it is. What do you got, Andrew?
I gotta look at a few more things.
Yours aren't done yet. All right.
Yeah, I usually send them to you guys before. Last season I picked the Thursday night game like every week just because I like picking Thursday night games. But
guys, that's why the kid is the brains behind the show. That's why Andrew Zemlis is the brains behind the show. He waits. You know what he does? He sits in his quarters in Beverly Hills and he listens to us dummies. He listens to us dummies, and he takes it all in, and then he evaluates, and then he looks and he makes his decision later, and that's why he does well. I know what you do. You're the Greek freak. That's what you do.
Listen. I always say this, if I had put money on the teams that I pick in this, I'd probably be doing better, but I'm more of a 6-leg parlay guy.
But all right, everybody, there you go. Those are the picks for myself. For Bill, for Andrew, for Jake. Guys, download the BetMGM app. It's the best sports. It's the best book out there, man. We love working with those guys. All you got to do for $1,500 in bets, all you got to do is put a deposit of up to $10 in your account. And if the bet loses, you'll get $1,500 back in bonus bets. It's pretty great. And all you have to do is use our code. It's a simple code. It's Burr, BURR. You put that code in for the show and you will get those benefits. And you also have the first touchdown offer. Any NFL game, you pick the guy that's going to get the first touchdown. And if they don't, in fact, they get the second touchdown, you will still get your stack back at the end. So there you go, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Anything Better podcast for our picks for week number 8. On behalf of, Andrew Themlis, Jake the Snake, Bill Burr, I'm Paul Verzi. We will see you guys next week for week number 9. As we always say on the show, guys, I know we talk betting and we talk gambling and all that stuff. Please, one thing we really do on the show is what we want is you to be responsible, bet responsibly, have fun, and enjoy it the way we enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the week of football.